Hello everyone. Welcome back to Ruby Tarot. Thank you for always following and supporting the channel. The moment you come across this video is the perfect time for you to receive this message. On this channel, I always bring you messages about what's about to unfold in your life. When you open your heart and trust in the positive, you are also connecting with a parallel world, one where your wishes have already come true. Today, through this tarot reading, I hope to help you uncover the possibilities that lie ahead and support you on your journey to finding love and turning your dreams into reality. The theme of today's reading is, what's coming will soon become clear. I've prepared 3 representative cards, corresponding to Pile 1, Pile 2, and Pile 3. Take a moment to listen to your intuition and choose the card that you feel most drawn to. Then, click on the timestamp in the description box to go directly to your reading. Now, let's begin the reading with those of you who have made your selection. Hello, Pile 1. Thank you for waiting. Now, I will begin the reading for those of you who chose this pile. I hope that this message brings you healing, new awareness, and moments filled with love and warmth. The theme for today is, what's coming will soon become clear. First, let's take a look at the situation you're currently in. The first card that appears is the Hermit in reverse, followed by the 9 of Swords. It seems that at the moment, you may be going through a mentally heavy phase. These cards point to anxiety, worry, and perhaps suppressed thoughts that are weighing you down. Something might have happened recently, or you're facing circumstances that are emotionally burdensome. You could be overthinking to the point where it's affecting your sleep. The reversed Hermit suggests a desire to withdraw, to shut yourself off emotionally. You might be feeling misunderstood, lonely, or gradually pulling away from the world. The 9 of Swords emphasizes this further. The imagery of a figure lying awake, hands clutching their head, face filled with distress. Both cards speak of inner turmoil, especially during the night, when the world is quiet, but your mind won't stop racing. You may be dealing with insomnia, restless sleep, or waking up frequently in the middle of the night due to anxious, fearful, or overwhelming thoughts. Even if everything around you appears calm, your mind feels like it's screaming something that you can't quite put into words. This is a time when you long for someone to truly listen and understand, but you may not know how to express yourself or who you can trust. It seems that something inside you is causing immense pressure, as though you're being weighed down by an invisible burden. You might be overthinking or feeling uncertain about the future, a vague but persistent anxiety that lingers in your mind. Some of you might even be blaming yourselves, feeling inadequate, or placing expectations upon yourselves only to be tormented when they aren't met. The energy in this reading evokes a profound sense of loneliness, a deep, aching solitude. You may be missing someone dearly, yet unable to see them, or perhaps you're waiting for someone for a phone call, a message, a sign of acknowledgement, but it still hasn't come. There's an image of hands clasped together, as if in silent prayer, quietly wishing for something to happen. I hope they'll reach out. I hope we'll meet again. It feels like you're holding on to hope for something or someone, and the silence or distance is only intensifying your sense of unease. You might also be in a situation where things feel unclear, and that uncertainty is creating turmoil in your mind. You want answers, you want clarity, you want the truth to come to light, so that you can finally feel at peace. And that brings us back to the theme of today's reading. What's coming will soon become clear. Because right now, there is something in your mind that feels confusing, unsettling, and heavy, and you are longing, with all your heart, for things to be revealed and understood. Now, I'll draw another card from a different tarot deck to see what further message is meant for you. The card that appears is the 8 of Cups. This confirms what you're currently going through. There's a deep worry stirring within you. You may be contemplating, should I let go? Should I walk away from the situation and move forward? There's a part of you that feels the urge to detach, to step away from something that has weighed you down. A part of you has started to think about releasing your grip, as if you've reached the limit of what you can bear, and all you want now is clarity, resolution, and emotional relief. The 8 of Cups is a card of departure, not out of hatred or rejection, but because you have poured so much of your heart, hope, and effort into something, only to be met with disappointment, hurt, or prolonged silence without any clear answers. This card reflects the emotional crossroads you're standing at, wavering between trying to hold on or letting go completely in search of inner peace. At the same time, I sense that in your current situation, there may be someone, or perhaps an environment or relationship, that is incredibly difficult for you to navigate. This person isn't necessarily bad, but they are complex and unpredictable. The phrase that comes to mind is a person with a complicated personality, someone who may be extremely headstrong, ego-driven, and guided by their own rigid principles, sometimes even to the point of stubbornness. They likely know exactly what they want and may be intelligent and capable, but that very strength makes them inflexible and unable to truly understand others unless they share the same perspective. It seems you might be entangled in a situation where this person holds the power to decide or has a significant influence over what's happening in your life. They could be someone you love, a family member, a superior at work, or an important partner. But the issue is, you feel like you have no control. All your efforts to explain yourself, to express your emotions, or to create a meaningful connection seem to go unanswered or are met with indifference. Perhaps they refuse to open up, or they simply don't understand you in the way you long to be understood. And so, you begin to ask yourself, maybe it's time to let go. Maybe I should release this. I can't keep waiting or carrying this burden any longer. Deep down, you may still hold love, still carry hope, but your rational mind is now speaking louder than ever, telling you it's time to seriously consider whether to hold on or let go, whether to keep moving forward or stop altogether. Overall, the energy here isn't about cutting ties abruptly. Instead, it's a gradual process, one that invites you to reflect on the entire journey you've been through. A journey where you have been patient, where you've waited, where you've given your all. But now, you're longing for clarity, a final answer or a clear sign, something to reassure you that you can either continue with peace of mind or walk away without regret. It feels like, as things aren't unfolding the way you hoped, as anxiety and uncertainty cloud your path and no clear direction appears, you're starting to contemplate, should I let go? Should I walk away and choose a different path? That feeling is now living within you, not a feeling of hopelessness, but one of confusion and emotional imbalance. One part of you still wants to fight, while another gently whispers, maybe it's time to stop. However, when I drew the next card to explore the direction this situation is heading, the world appeared. This is the final card of the 22 major arcana, a symbol of completion, fulfillment, and the successful end of a journey. It carries a deeply reassuring message. Everything will eventually be resolved, and you will reach the destination you've been hoping for. This card serves as a promise that there will be closure, and it will be a beautiful, meaningful, and complete one. You may be feeling as though all your efforts have vanished into the void, that the other person doesn't understand you, doesn't care about you, or remains completely silent in the face of everything you're feeling. But what the cards reveal is the opposite. This person is actually thinking about you a great deal. They may not be expressing it outwardly, they may not be saying it aloud, and they may not be taking visible action at this moment, but deep down they are reflecting seriously on you and considering how to make things better between you both. This is a process unfolding beneath the surface, like still water that hides a powerful current underneath. You can't see it with your eyes, which makes it easy to feel uncertain, easy to believe that they're being indifferent. But in reality, this person genuinely cares, and they're searching for a way to bring about the best possible outcome for both of you. And this reading emphasizes that again, it's going to be okay. Everything will be resolved. You don't have to carry all this worry. The World card serves as a promise that this cycle won't go on forever, and the ending is near, a complete, clear, and fulfilling resolution. What this reading wants to tell you is this: the outcome will be much better than you're imagining. Even if, at the moment, you're feeling anxious, uncertain, or lost in the fog of confusion, things are going to shift in a far more positive direction. Still, I understand that when you're caught in a state of emotional turmoil, no matter how many times someone tells you that it will all be okay, it may not feel reassuring. Because when the mind is in chaos, even the most hopeful words can feel distant and out of reach. So now, I will draw another card to explore the timing of when this situation might shift for the better or find resolution. The card that appears shows a heart symbol, suggesting that many of you are watching this reading with love and emotional matters in mind. Then, I receive the number 6, indicating that a time connected to the number 6 could hold significance. Specifically, this could mean 6 hours from the moment you watch this reading, 6 days later, or dates that include the number 6, such as the 6th, 16th, or 26th. Around those times, it's highly likely that your current situation will begin to unfold more clearly, and perhaps even resolve itself naturally and gently, almost as if everything begins to untangle on its own, without you having to push or force anything. This is further affirmed by the card bearing a heart, symbolizing love, warmth, and emotional connection. This reading is sending you a very clear message. Things will come to a positive resolution for you. Not just okay, but truly good, in the most fulfilling and uplifting sense. And yet, because you are currently in an emotionally sensitive place, even hearing something this positive may not bring immediate relief. You might find yourself thinking, that sounds nice, but I still feel uneasy. I understand that feeling, because when the heart is tired or hurting, even the most rational thoughts struggle to find peace. So now, I'll draw one final message from the angels, a gentle whisper from the universe, just for you. Sometimes angelic messages may seem a little out of place or disconnected from reality, but often, it is these simple, quiet words that carry the deepest truths we need at just the right time. Let's listen to what they wish to share with you. The message for you is to meditate. The angels are encouraging you to do so. But of course, when you're overwhelmed with anxiety or unease, who can really sit still and meditate, right? Still, right now, you truly need meditation. Try to approach it in a way that feels light, easy, and even joyful if possible. Honestly, if you're in the middle of a difficult emotional phase, the idea of joyful meditation probably sounds impossible, and I completely get that. But when your mind becomes quiet, you'll be able to hear the angel's voice more clearly. When you find your inner calm, their guidance will come through with more clarity. First thing in the morning, just after waking up, close your eyes for at least 5 minutes and take a few deep breaths. Then try asking the angels a question. Listen to them as if you're listening to the heartfelt words of a trusted friend. If you're too tense, it will be hard to recognize their answers. So continue breathing deeply and keep both your body and your thoughts relaxed. Communicating with angels and receiving their messages is not something mysterious or rare. It is actually something simple and natural, a part of everyday life. All it takes is for your heart to soften, and suddenly, hearing their answers will become so much easier. But still, even when people say those things, it seems like you're not quite convinced yet, are you? They keep telling you to meditate, but you're tangled up inside. It's not easy to follow that advice right now. And yet, maybe the angels are truly concerned about you. Especially if you've been struggling with sleepless nights, or feeling anxious, unsettled, lonely, or if there's a quiet emptiness that keeps creeping into your heart whenever night falls. When they see that image, you, silently battling loneliness and emotions too heavy to share, it feels as though the angels can sense it, and they're genuinely worried about you. Perhaps you feel utterly alone, like you're the only one in this world, misunderstood and unseen. But what the angels are trying to tell you is this: you are not alone. Even if you think you're on your own, there are always beings of light surrounding you. The angels are right here, gently standing by your side. And not just the angels, there are many other protective spirits around you too. They've been with you for a long time, quietly watching over you with deep love. You may not recognize their presence, and perhaps you've never heard their voice. But even if you can't hear them or see them, they are always here, silently praying and wishing for your happiness. And if there is something weighing on your heart right now, if something is making you anxious or uneasy, there's a simple yet powerful way to ease it. Write it down on paper if that helps, but even better, speak directly to the angels. You can say, "Dear angels, I'm truly worried about this. I don't know what to do. Please help me. Please take this anxiety far away from me. Blow it away. Lift it from my heart." Just by saying that, the angels will listen. They will gently receive your worries, your unease, and carry them away so that you can feel lighter. Even if you can't see them or touch them, when your heart speaks with sincerity, it will always be heard. You might be thinking, calling on angels like this? It feels like I'm pretending to be someone holy or divine. But in truth, sometimes allowing yourself to do just that, to speak to the angels, is exactly what your soul needs. It may feel strange to think, angels? But when angel cards appear in such a distinct way, not the kind that gives practical instructions, but the kind that carries soft, heartfelt energy, it's a clear sign that the angels are calling your name. When angelic messages knock on your door like this, it's because you've already done so well. You've already given so much effort, not only through your actions but through your heart, through the way you've faced life. You have nothing left to blame yourself for. That's why, at this moment, the message from the angels is no longer about what you must do or how you must change. They're not asking you to confront yourself harshly, nor are they pushing you toward yet another lesson. Instead, they're saying, let go a little. Be gentler with yourself. Try seeing things from a different perspective, one that isn't bound by what your eyes can see. In other words, instead of trying to control everything in the visible world, everything happening right in front of you. Allow yourself to trust in the invisible forces, the spiritual support that's quietly surrounding you. Because if you continue to push forward in this state of tension, you may find yourself trapped in a cycle of exhaustion, where the harder you try, the more worn out you feel. So, pause. Don't force anything, at least not right now. You can choose to meditate, or simply speak to your angels. Just say, "Dear angels, please help me." The angels are always ready to help you. But many people forget that they can ask for that help. You can call out for support. You do have the right to ask for rescue. And I'm no different. I often forget that too. In those moments when you feel like you can't take it anymore, when you feel completely powerless, unable to do anything, your body exhausted, your mind numb, that's exactly when you should call out to the angels with everything in your heart. Scream from within if you must. Cry out, "Dear angels, please help me." And you know what? They will hear you, and they will truly come to your side. Honestly, if I were to share everything, it would take a long time. But let me just say this briefly. I've personally experienced some truly unbelievable moments, so unexpected and astonishing that they left me in awe. That's why, if you're feeling so anxious right now that you feel like you're on the verge of collapsing, if you're in despair and desperate to escape your current situation or change something but don't know where to begin, then I wholeheartedly urge you, try placing your trust in the angels and ask for their help. Even if a part of you thinks, well, why not, I'll just try, it's absolutely worth trying, even just once. Now, let's go straight into the clear answer that's meant for you. The first card that appears is the second chakra, the sacral chakra. The message here is, joy will return. You will feel the revival of excitement and positive energy within you. And the truth that's about to be revealed to you is this. The things you once worried about, feared, or felt anxious over, they're not nearly as frightening as you imagined. You'll come to realize, so everything's actually okay. I've been worrying too much for no reason. This message may relate to the situation you're facing now, or it could speak to another area of your life. But either way, you'll soon understand that things are not as bad as they once seemed. You'll come to know that you're far more safe and supported than you thought. In fact, that scenario you've been envisioning in your mind, maybe not as a fully formed image, but more like a vague sense of if that happens, it'll be a disaster. That worst-case scenario you've been fearing, the angels are saying, that won't happen. It's okay. You're going to be fine. And then, the message this card delivers becomes crystal clear. Try wearing something orange, eating orange-colored foods, or using products that carry the energy of the color orange. For example, you could eat an orange or a tangerine, use orange essential oil, or simply drink a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice. Orange radiates vibrant, warm, and refreshing energy. It is the color of life, joy, and healing power. When your spirit feels drained and your emotions are running low, just drinking a bit of orange juice can already lift you up. Truly, orange works like a rejuvenating force for your soul. So if you're feeling anxious or unsettled, eat an orange. It's that simple, but it might just help you return to a state of balance. As for the clarity you're hoping for, here is the message. All the things you're worrying about, whether it's the future, your health, finances, or a relationship with someone, you'll soon come to understand that they are not as frightening as you think. Even though right now you might not see the way forward, the situation will settle down and be resolved. It will not unfold in the negative direction you fear. And even more wonderfully, this card is truly trying to emphasize to you, as if it keeps whispering softly in your ear, you're going to be okay. Don't worry. That awful thing you fear won't happen. If you're worried that your health won't improve, or that you might stay like this forever or get worse, don't be. That's not how it's going to be. You will be fine. The card is saying you will find a way. Perhaps you'll discover a treatment that works, a remedy that suits you, or a simple adjustment that makes all the difference. Like realizing, oh, I just needed to stop doing this, or all I had to do was that one thing to feel better. And that change will bring noticeable improvement. And when it comes to finances, you might also be feeling a sense of unease. For example, you may be worried that you'll have to spend a large amount of money, or that a certain situation could end up costing you a lot. But in reality, it won't be as serious as you fear. The card suggests that there's a strong chance you'll receive some form of support or come across the right solution, like a repair that turns out to be covered under warranty, or an expense that ends up being partially or fully covered by insurance. Even if you're currently imagining the worst-case scenario, such as, if that happens, I'm doomed, the message here is, it's not going to be as bad as you think. And the same goes for matters of the heart. If you're thinking, they probably hate me now, or they're avoiding me, or they must be thinking badly of me by now, The truth will come to light, and it will feel like a weight off your shoulders. You'll realize things aren't as you feared. It's not that they hate you, and it's not that they're ignoring you. Perhaps it's just a misunderstanding, or maybe your sensitivity is heightened due to anxiety. You'll soon come to know the truth, and it won't be as heavy or painful as you imagined. Now, let me take another look. One card is being highlighted. Ah yes, it's the focus card. And surprise, there's also a card featuring Dumbledore. What an unexpected appearance. Truly, the outcome will not be as bad as you're imagining. The card is telling you, try shifting your perspective. The message from the cards is clear. Look at things from a different angle. When you change the way you see things, you'll begin to notice details and insights that were previously hidden from view. And then another card appears, the card of rebirth. Once again, the message is crystal clear. You are undergoing a profound transformation, almost like a complete rebirth. When your mood falls into a negative state, you start seeing the world through dark lenses. Everything suddenly seems gloomy, pessimistic, and you easily misinterpret situations and people. For example, that person must hate me, or why did they say that? Are they mocking me? But in reality, the truth could be entirely different. You see, when you put on those negative lenses, even the people you pass by on the street can seem like enemies. Your mind begins to weave stories like, no one cares about me, I've been abandoned, or people are avoiding me. And so, you slip into a feeling as if you're at rock bottom in a pit of unhappiness. And now, the message the cards want to send to you is, take off those glasses of misfortune. Try to remove the negative-colored glasses you've been unknowingly wearing every day. We all live with ingrained beliefs, with thoughts shaped by our past. But you have the power to change your perspective. Sometimes, all it takes is a small shift in how you view things, and your entire inner world will begin to change. When you dare to see everything through a different lens, you'll start noticing things you couldn't see before. You'll find yourself thinking, oh, so that's how it is. And that's when the magic begins to unfold. You'll realize that, oh, they don't actually hate me like I thought, or this situation isn't as bad as I imagined, or even wait, actually some things have started to improve already. As you begin to change your perspective, these things will gradually reveal themselves, and you'll see that you've been looking at everything through a much darker lens than necessary. The card is urging you, take off those tinted glasses and look at things with clearer, brighter eyes. If you're thinking, I'm not wearing any color glasses, that's perfectly okay. But the card is gently urging you to look again, with fresh eyes. And then, a profoundly powerful card appears, the card of transmutation. This is the card of the Phoenix, the legendary immortal creature that is always reborn from its own flames. It signifies that you are now entering a phase of profound transformation, preparing for a complete rebirth. This transformation is not something you can predict or imagine in advance. The card is telling you that a massive shift is about to take place, one that even you cannot foresee. And this isn't just any ordinary change. It's a metamorphosis, a rebirth, where you shed your tired, limited, and worn-out self to become a passionate, wild, and free spirit, just like the phoenix in myth and legend. The story goes that the phoenix bursts into brilliant flames, and from those flames, it does not vanish, but instead rises again as a brand new being, stronger, more radiant, and freer than ever. And the card emphasizes something truly important. The very things you once believed could never change, the parts of your life you thought were fixed forever, are exactly what are now beginning to shift into something magnificent for you. Yes, exactly that. Everything is spelled out clearly in the message. This is not an ending. It is the beginning of something radiant. The areas of your life where you felt lacking, stagnant, or stuck are about to transform into remarkable opportunities. Let go of narrow assumptions and the self-imposed limits in your thinking. Because what the cards are telling you is this: nothing is as simple or fixed as it seems on the surface. You see, it's not just about what is currently in front of your eyes or the future you can imagine at this moment. There are other possibilities, far beyond your present thinking. A great shift is approaching. The message for you is, don't be so quick to believe that the world is limited to what you can see right now. Don't assume that your future is confined to the negative predictions your mind keeps replaying. Because the universe is preparing to bring you something unimaginable, something far beyond your expectations. And once again, the spirit of the phoenix speaks. A monumental transformation is about to unfold in your life. Even if you currently feel like everything is collapsing, as if it's all coming to an end, the truth is, this is the beginning. Do you feel like you're at the very end of the road? If so, then hear this clearly. This is not the end. This is the beginning. A powerful, radiant beginning. You are about to enter an entirely new cycle, one in which you will rise from the ashes, from what once seemed lost, and step into a phase of vibrant renewal. Even if certain parts of your life have felt stagnant, heavy, or clouded, that was only a period of cleansing, an essential purification before your rebirth. This is the process of clearing your soul, preparing you for a new version of yourself, a version that is more luminous, more liberated, and stronger than ever before. And while people may say hang in there, I want to offer the opposite. You don't have to keep struggling anymore. You don't need to keep pushing. Because the most beautiful, most extraordinary thing is already on its way to you. Truly. Not just something good, but something magnificent. And it's coming straight to you. This is where your true life begins. It may sound grand, but it is exactly that. Everything is going to change, and change in a way that you couldn't have predicted. A complete, profound, unmistakable transformation. And then you will realize, oh, I didn't need to worry so much after all. Everything's okay. I'm okay too. The things that once kept you awake at night, that stirred up fear and doubt within you, one by one, they will begin to unravel. Every knot will loosen. Every tangled path will become clear. As if every piece in your life that once felt scattered or confusing is finally returning, fitting together into a complete and meaningful picture. Everything will eventually unfold in a way that benefits you. All things are gradually aligning to support you, to help you live in a way that feels truly right, free from confusion, no longer drowning in vague worries. And what's important is this: hand over all those anxieties and fears to the angels. You no longer need to hold on to them. Let them carry them away. So then, let's take a look. When will this happen? When will you start to feel okay again? Feel that everything is clearer, lighter? If what you're hoping for involves someone else, if it's a matter between you and another person, then the message from the cards is very clear. This person truly values you. They cherish you more than you think. And it seems that soon you will come to realize that. Because yes, this person is rather hard to read. In the reading, the King of Swords appeared, and this character tends to be a bit stubborn, emotionally distant, reserved, and not the best at expressing their feelings. They're not someone who communicates emotions easily. Perhaps that's why you've been feeling unsure, uncertain of what they truly think or feel. However, what matters is that you will come to understand. You will clearly see, so they really do care about me. What you've been waiting for, whether it's a word, an action, or some kind of confirmation, is on its way. So, when will this become clear to you? The card gives the number 9. It could mean 9 hours after you watch this reading, 9 days later, or a date marked by the number 9, like the 9th, 19th, or 29th. That will be the moment when you clearly realize, so everything is okay. I didn't need to worry so much. This may relate to the person you're thinking about, but it could also point to a completely different situation because each of us is in a different context. Whatever it is, during a time carrying the energy of the number 9, the truth will come to light. Also, there is a very distinct feeling that someone is silently acting on your behalf. It could be the person you're thinking of, or it might be someone else, or even a different situation altogether. But at a deeper level, there is a flow of energy quietly moving, working in the background to bring you the very best. Even if you can't yet see it with your eyes, someone is thinking things through, calculating how to ensure the final outcome is the best possible one for you. They're acting quietly, without making a show of it, but with clear intention and care. Everything is unfolding beneath the surface, like gentle currents moving underwater, and it's all guiding you toward a result that will make you breathe a sigh of relief and smile. So, I really am okay. There's a strong sense right now that everything is in a testing phase, as if someone, or perhaps a flow of energy, is silently preparing, adjusting, weighing possibilities. Maybe they're figuring out a new solution, or not entirely new, but rather a different approach, one that will ultimately bring about the best outcome for you. The feeling of preparation is undeniable. Someone is arranging, planning, and because they're at a distance, both literally and metaphorically, the entire process is taking time. Looking at the card, while others depict close, familiar images, this one shows a unicorn far away, barely visible on the horizon. It feels like someone is racing toward you, but still in that stage of gathering momentum from afar. A clear sense of serious and focused preparation is in the air. And even though nothing may seem obvious right now, whether it involves a person or a situation, something is definitely shifting beneath the surface. Everything is progressing in a way you cannot yet see, but it's all moving toward the best possible outcome for you. Now, let's take a look at the sign, the signal that will let you know. So everything really is okay, a sign that you can rest easy and sleep peacefully again. And the card that appears is Never Give Up. This is the omen. Though I drew this card seeking a sign, it feels like more than that. It feels like a powerful message from the universe. You're going to be okay. Don't give up. You may be starting to feel tired, as though you've been trying for so long without seeing the light at the end. But the message is just a little more patience, because everything is moving. Don't stop right before the miracle happens. Oh, and there's another feeling coming through strongly, as if this message isn't just from the cards, but is being broadcast from somewhere else, as if it's being transmitted through a radio program, a voice from the TV, a station you tune into without expecting anything. You might suddenly hear a sentence, a melody, or a message that strikes you deeply and makes you think, yes, this is exactly what I needed to hear. Everything is being arranged, and you are being loved, guided, and protected far more than you realize. Maybe it's just a song that happens to play in a shop, or a phrase printed on the page of the book you're holding, a poster that catches your eye on a street corner, or a billboard along the road. But in those seemingly random moments, you'll come across words that feel like they were written just for you. You'll be okay, or everything's going to be okay, or something as simple as keep your smile. And those small messages are exactly the signs you've been looking for. They are gentle whispers from the angels, delivered to you through the world around you. The angels are always by your side, always trying to send you signals, but because they can't speak out loud or appear before you directly, they choose to communicate through these subtle details. So when you see a poster that says, "Good things are coming," or the radio suddenly plays a song with the lyrics, "You're not alone," don't dismiss it as coincidence. It might very well be the voice of your angels. These signs, though small, carry the energy of comfort, protection, and divine guidance. When you suddenly come across a phrase, a melody, or a fleeting moment that genuinely uplifts you, when something makes you pause and feel, oh, I've just been reminded that I'm not alone, that is no coincidence. Now, let's take a look at how you'll feel when you finally realize that everything is truly okay, when the things you've been worrying about begin to make sense and clarity returns to your heart. Let's turn to the next cards to sense what your emotions will be like when that moment arrives. The card that appears is Dragon Guardianship. And it seems to be saying, so, I've been protected all along. Yes, you have always been protected. When this card shows up, it brings a profound confirmation. You are not alone. You may have thought to yourself, there's probably no one there. No one really cares or watches over me. But when that moment of realization comes, when things become undeniably clear, you'll feel something deeply true within your heart. So there really are angels. There really have been spirits watching over and standing beside me. Right now, you may be feeling lonely, as if no one in the world is on your side, as if no one truly understands you. But the truth is this, even in those moments when you thought you were completely alone, you've always been surrounded by countless loving spirits. They are right here with you, silent, yet steadfast. They may be your ancestors, your grandparents who have passed on, or even a beloved dog or cat who once shared your life and has now become a soul in the heavens. And did you know? Every person has at least 2 guardian angels who are assigned to them from the moment of birth. In addition to that, there are also gentle fairies and nature spirits, pure and quiet beings who have always accompanied you, guiding you from behind the scenes. You may begin to sense their presence. Perhaps you've just made a wish, and then something seems to respond through an uncanny coincidence or a subtle sign that makes you think, they're really here with me. Sometimes, it's not about seeing them clearly. It's not something your eyes can capture. It's something you feel. And once you feel it, you'll know. They are there, and they have always been there. For those who are sensitive, you may begin to notice this presence around you. For example, a white feather suddenly falling right in front of you. That's a classic sign angels often use to let you know they are near and watching over you. And if that happens, smile. Because it's not just a coincidence. It's a message of love. A way the universe is telling you, you have never and will never truly be alone. You know, angels don't always appear with glowing white wings like in the movies. Sometimes they show up in the most unexpected, ordinary ways, and that's what makes it magical. So go ahead, try doing something lighthearted, something a little playful. Because helping you, that's exactly what angels do. And the amazing part is, you don't have to spend a single cent. They're ready to help you wholeheartedly, as long as you ask. So ask. Reach out.
Call on them.
and you will be helped. Truly. Congratulations, dear one. And there's even another message. Let's go and have fun. It's time to move forward and enjoy yourself. What a pure, joyful feeling.
See?
In the end, it turns out there's really nothing to worry about, right? You're entering a state of, wow, this is so much fun, a genuine feeling of relief and happiness. And yes, the celebration card has appeared. That's the message. Enjoy it. Let it in. When you feel protected, when you feel truly cared for, all your worries and sorrows seem to vanish. It's like, oh my goodness, everything is amazing. I'm finally living in pure joy. The celebration card. Yes, that's exactly what it is. You're being encouraged to let go, to stop pushing yourself so hard, and to truly savor the moments unfolding around you. This is the time to celebrate something special. It might be a wedding, a graduation, a professional achievement, or any other meaningful milestone. Whatever it is, prepare for gatherings, for joyful occasions, and for moments shared with others. Now is the time to fully embrace the happiness that life is offering you. Be in a space that feels bright, light, and warm, with family, friends, or those who hold a special place in your heart. Set aside all your worries and focus only on the abundance and fulfillment that is already in your hands. Enjoy delicious food, sip a bit of fine wine, and if you can, dance. Immerse yourself in this special occasion with all the joy and excitement in your heart, and let it become a beautiful memory you create for yourself. And who is this message from? Of course, it's from the angels. They are whispering to you, create beautiful memories. This means that you, in this moment, having understood the message from the universe, from your spiritual guides, your heart is now bursting open with joy and celebration. And who knows? It may truly be a wedding, a graduation, a significant career breakthrough, or perhaps a personal milestone, a turning point in your life that is just around the corner. So start preparing. This is your moment to celebrate, and you deserve to enjoy this happiness to the fullest. This card is speaking to you, saying, everything is already okay. It might be about marriage, perhaps, at long last, the two of you have decided to move forward and tie the knot. But it could also be that you're still in the phase of uncertainty, unsure whether the wedding will happen, or maybe everything is still unfinished and undecided. Some of you might be experiencing a similar sense of limbo in your career. Perhaps you're waiting to hear if you'll be promoted, or your superiors haven't given you a clear decision yet, leaving you anxiously waiting. No matter what situation you're in, this card arrives like a joyful declaration. Congratulations. Time to celebrate. So much so that you forget all your earlier worries because the atmosphere is just too happy, too lighthearted. It's the kind of feeling where you think, wait, what was I even worried about? I just want to smile right now. And yes, there's celebration, delicious food too. The card clearly says, you are, or will soon be, enjoying a grand feast. There may very well be a real party in the near future, with music, fine wine, and people dancing and rejoicing together. You see, if you choose to, you can already begin to welcome that joy. You don't have to wait for a specific reason to celebrate. From this moment, you can allow yourself to live in that spirit of celebration. For instance, if you're feeling a bit down or low energy right now, the idea of dancing or celebrating might seem a bit out of reach. But if you can, try turning the music up loud, play an upbeat song you love, and just let your body move to the rhythm. That alone is enough to send a wave of joyful energy toward your future. Because when you radiate the vibration of joy, the universe responds by sending you experiences that match that energy. Of course, if you're truly exhausted or feeling overwhelmed, it's perfectly okay if you can't do that right now. Don't force yourself to appear joyful when you're not ready. Just remember, joy is still on its way to you. And when you're ready, you'll be able to receive it in the fullest, most beautiful way. If you continue holding on to worry or sadness, that won't serve you well. I've come across a powerful affirmation, a little mantra, that aligns perfectly with the energy of this moment. It goes, I cherish special moments with the people I love. This is a wonderful phrase to speak out loud right now. Go ahead, try repeating it. I cherish special moments with the people I love. Say it aloud, can you? There, you said it, didn't you? Did you say it? Maybe you did it just to humor the moment, and that's okay too. Give it a try and see what happens. Honestly, phrases like this, though they may seem simple, can have surprisingly powerful effects. When you truly allow your mind and body to soften, you'll start to feel a sense of joy welling up from within. All it takes is for you to feel a little lighter, a little more cheerful, a little happier, as though you're planting tiny seeds of joy in your heart, and that in itself is already something truly wonderful. Now, even with all this, you might still be wondering, okay, I feel happier, but is there something I should be doing? Is there an action I need to take? Or should I just sit still and let the good things come to me? This is exactly the kind of question anyone would be asking at this point. And yes, I too feel called to draw another card to see what action, if any, would be most helpful right now. So then, what should you do? I drew a card from the Gateway Oracle deck, and the moment I pulled it, I felt this subtle hesitation like, this doesn't really feel like something to do, does it? Is that okay? But that's all right. The card that appeared was grace, a message of blessing, divine favor, or universal kindness. Perhaps the point isn't to take a specific action, but rather to receive a gentle reminder. You are surrounded by a loving, supportive energy. Things are unfolding naturally. Still, if you're looking for something a little more concrete, then perhaps rest. Yes, that's it. The energy of this card also speaks to the importance of getting enough sleep and truly allowing yourself to rest. Maybe your body is asking for replenishment through sleep. When you rest deeply, your body begins to heal, your mind softens, and positive energy begins to flow again. So, if you're wondering what you should be doing right now, the answer is, give yourself permission to rest, genuinely and wholeheartedly. No guilt, no pressure, just a quiet, soothing pause that allows you to recover and welcome in the blessings that are drawing near. You see, everything is still quietly moving beneath the surface, just like water. Even while you sleep, life continues to flow. There are some things in life that resolve themselves simply through the passage of time. And right now, as the earlier cards have shown, whether it's about someone specific or a situation in your life, it is all moving in your favor. So maybe the best thing you can do now isn't to keep trying to stay positive or to write out your wishes or to strive for anything at all. Maybe, just maybe, the best thing you can do is nothing at all. Simply rest. If you feel uneasy doing nothing, of course, you can still engage in the things you enjoy, activities that bring you comfort and ease. But I have a strong sense that many of you aren't getting enough sleep. So, if possible, make sleep your priority. Really try to rest. Truly, the message I'm receiving here feels almost urgent. Everyone, please just go to sleep. Because simply sleeping is already the most right and healing thing you can do for yourself. While you sleep, miracles unfold without your awareness. It's as if flowers, leaves, and tiny fish are gently swimming, moving, arranging things in the unseen, so that your reality quietly becomes brighter. Invisible forces, angels, the universe, your spiritual guides, are working together to help shape a more beautiful future for you. So yes, sleeping alone is enough. Now, you might say, I know sleep is good, but I just can't fall asleep. I understand that, truly. But even so, try your best to allow your body the rest it deeply needs. And here's a gentle, specific suggestion from the cards. Eat something sweet. Yes, you're being encouraged to enjoy a little treat. It could be a chocolate dessert, a cupcake, or some delightful little pastry. The card showed the image of a delicious sweet, perhaps a chocolate cake or a creamy mini tart. You might also go for a piece of candy, some juicy fruit, or anything sweet that lifts your mood. Many people say that when they're feeling anxious, just a bit of chocolate can help bring a sense of calm. So sleep if you can. And if you need a gentle bridge toward peace, maybe begin with something sweet. So go ahead and treat yourself to a little something sweet. It doesn't have to be anything big or overly sugary, just a small, lovely treat that you enjoy. That alone is enough to warm your mood. For those of you who love sweets, I think this is a delightful suggestion. The card is also saying, eat something sweet. It seems that the lucky food for you right now is in the form of candies, chocolates, or cute little desserts that lift your heart. Next, let's take a look at your lucky place, the environment that will best support you at this moment. I've drawn the card, and the immediate impression that comes to mind is an image of a spa-like sanctuary, a place designed to soothe both body and spirit. It brings to mind hot springs, wellness centers, or relaxation spots with amenities like hot stone baths, saunas, massages, and peaceful rest areas. That image is vivid and clear. So, if possible, try to visit a place like that, a setting where you can release tension and allow your body to fully relax. Spending time in a calm, gentle space like this could help you recharge your energy and open yourself to the many blessings on their way to you. I believe the reason you're being encouraged to go to such a place is because it offers healing, not only for your physical body but also for your soul. Places like that are truly magical, aren't they? Now, let's move on to discover who your lucky person is, the kind of individual or the zodiac sign that will bring you uplifting energy at this time. I was guided to draw 2 cards. These represent people who have their sun or moon in the following signs, individuals you're encouraged to connect with right now. And here they are, Capricorn and Gemini. If you have friends, loved ones, colleagues, or acquaintances whose sun or moon is in Capricorn or Gemini, try reaching out to them. Have a conversation, arrange a meeting, or simply open your heart and share your thoughts with them. These individuals are currently channels of luck and subtle support for you. Additionally, if you follow any creators or inspiring figures with these placements, you may also benefit from engaging with their content. The messages they're sharing could be exactly what you need to hear right now. And now, for the final message, I've drawn a card from the deck of divine beings to see what guidance is being offered to you. Immediately, I could hear the message coming through loud and clear. It's okay. Everything's going to be just fine. You will succeed. This isn't a shallow reassurance. It's a promise of real success. Not the worst-case scenario, but the best possible outcome is what's waiting for you. The divine messenger behind this message is the god of swords and thunder. The theme of the card is balance between intuition and action. Victory. Ground yourself in reality. Anchor your intuition into your everyday life. The message for you is bring your intuition and inner knowing into form. Those flashes of insight you've been receiving, they are lightning bolts from the heavens, sacred transmissions sent to guide you. You don't need to fear anything. Visualize your goals clearly and begin turning them into concrete steps. This is not the time for hesitation. The dragon god, with a voice that is powerful, friendly, radiant, and full of life, is standing beside you, leading you toward victory. This is a god of thunder and swords. That's why he always holds a sword forged from lightning, a symbol of supreme power from the heavens. Lightning doesn't just represent physical strength. It is the force that transcends earthly limits, a message from the divine, and those messages are delivered to you through your intuition. So trust what you're feeling within. Don't deny it. It is the universe guiding you. This god is not only powerful, he also possesses wisdom, strategy, the ability to plan, and the clarity to execute. And the next message for you is this. Now is the time to act. It's time to turn what you've been thinking, what you've been envisioning, into tangible steps in the real world. This divine being also holds the power to shatter obstacles. He will rise to protect you, to break through any barriers, and lead you to triumph. If you ever hear the sound of thunder, or even if you can simply imagine its roar, that is the symbol of this energy being amplified within you. When the voice of the dragon god is awakened, your drive for action and victory will be powerfully magnified. So set a bold goal. Paint a vivid vision in your mind. And then act. You are supported. You are protected. And you are being propelled toward your brightest, most radiant victory. You're also encouraged to step into nature, visit the mountains, open fields, or unfamiliar places you've never explored before. You might also attend an event or enter a space you wouldn't normally go to. Most importantly, express yourself boldly and clearly, through a strong voice, a radiant smile, and genuine gratitude. Let your presence shine out into the world with a vibrant and decisive energy. The card also mentions that if you can hear the sound of thunder, also known as the voice of the god, it will further empower you. So, if you have the opportunity to connect with natural sounds, or come across recordings that mimic thunder or ceremonial drums, take a moment to listen. That experience will awaken the inner power within you. In addition, you're encouraged to visit places where nature is alive and expansive, mountains, open plains, or even the shoreline. These places will help you connect more deeply with your intuition, cleanse lingering energy, and recharge your trust in the path ahead. If you have the time and resources, consider planning a visit to such a place. That concludes the reading for those of you who chose Group 1. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and support by liking the video. Your encouragement is a powerful source of motivation that helps me continue creating meaningful content. If something in this reading touched your heart, I would be so grateful if you left a comment or even a small symbol, just so I know the message reached you. I always look forward to reading your thoughts, so please don't hesitate to share what's on your mind. Thank you for staying with me until the end of the video. I'll see you again in the next reading. Hello to those of you who chose Group 2. Thank you for your patience. Now, I will begin the reading for those who selected the second pile. I hope this message brings you healing, fresh insights, and moments filled with love. Today, we'll be exploring the theme, what is about to become clear to you. But before diving into that, I'd like to take a moment with you to reflect on your current situation. The first image that appears is of a coiled snake. If you're not fond of snakes, just gently imagine the symbol without focusing too much on the details. The two cards that came out are the Ten of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. From these two cards, the energy I sense is one of overload. You may be working yourself to the point of exhaustion. Even though you are someone who strives diligently and consistently gives your best, it feels like all the burdens have been placed solely on your shoulders. You might find yourself thinking, why am I the only one who has to carry everything? Or I'm doing all I can, but no one sees it. Perhaps you're in a caregiving role, raising young children, supporting a family member, or managing countless domestic responsibilities. It's not that you're asking for recognition, but it's clear you've poured an enormous amount of time and energy into caring for others. And now, it's wearing you down. For others, this could manifest as overwhelming pressure at work. The workload may be piling up, leaving you feeling like you're the only one handling too much. You might be feeling undervalued, unsupported, and pushing through everything alone, bearing the weight without any relief. The current energy reflects a deep, accumulated fatigue, not just from one specific thing, but from the fact that you've been pushing yourself for far too long. And now you're feeling drained. That's why today's reading will help illuminate what is about to be revealed to you. But before that, let's acknowledge this first. You have been incredibly resilient, devoted, and strong. What you've been carrying is no small burden, and the exhaustion you feel is entirely valid. You deserve rest, relief, and healing. And now, let's continue unfolding the upcoming messages to help you see more clearly what lies ahead. One thing that comes through strongly as I connect with this reading is that those of you listening are likely people who are deeply hardworking, highly responsible, and often carry the weight of things on your own. You're someone who doesn't easily ask for help, and you often feel that it's your responsibility to handle everything yourself. Whether it's in the home, within your family, or in your professional life, you seem to always be busy, your mind constantly revolving around what needs to be done next. This doesn't mean your life is lacking or empty. On the contrary, you may be living quite a full life. But there's something that weighs on your heart. Why is it that, even though I do so much, the results still don't match my effort? Perhaps you've found yourself thinking, I've tried my best, so why hasn't it paid off yet? Or, if only someone could share the load. If only others were more proactive. If only things flowed more smoothly. It feels as though you've been doing so much, yet there's still no clear reward in sight. More than once, you've silently asked yourself, what am I doing all this for? Or, am I really meant to carry all this alone forever? There are moments when it feels like you're stretched beyond your limits, caught in a relentless current of responsibility, whether within your family, at work, or in your relationships. Day after day, you try your best to keep everything running smoothly, but at the same time, you feel exhausted, drained, and deeply alone. In particular, it seems like you may be living too much for others. You often give in, trying to accommodate the feelings of those around you, even sacrificing your own time, desires, or health just to keep others at peace. Even though you don't complain, the fatigue is building. You're becoming worn out from always having to be the kind one, the understanding one, the one who gives and gives. However, the next card I pulled carries a profoundly gentle and meaningful message. It doesn't dismiss your exhaustion. It doesn't ask you to endure any longer than you already have. Instead, it says this: you don't have to keep sacrificing yourself to survive. If things have gone beyond your limit, you have every right to shift the situation, or, at the very least, to speak your truth about how you feel. But if what you're doing comes from a place of true love in your heart, even if it's tiring, then know this: every ounce of kindness, devotion, care, and love you're giving right now will become a great gift that life will return to you. Nothing you offer from a place of sincerity will ever be wasted. Even if the results aren't visible yet, everything you are nurturing is forming a quiet current beneath the surface, and one day, that current will rise, carrying with it a blessing of truly magnificent proportion. You may be feeling forgotten right now, but the universe has not forgotten you. Everything you've done, even in silence, even when no one seemed to notice, is being recorded in the light. So if you still have the strength to keep going, walk slowly if you must, but don't give up. And if you're too tired, allow yourself to rest, because you are worthy of love even when you're doing nothing at all. Whatever choice you make, the universe is still by your side, recognizing every bit of goodness you've offered. In time, you will receive, in a way that is both deserving and full of surprises. A message is coming through to you loud and clear. What you're doing right now is not meaningless. Every effort you've made will return to you, somehow, at the exact moment you need it most. The universe is whispering to you. You will receive what you deserve. Without a doubt. At this moment, you may be carrying a heavy load, whether for others or perhaps for yourself. And yet, it seems you're feeling overwhelmed and exhausted, as if you've poured out everything you had, but still haven't seen any reward. Some of you may be taking care of a family member. Others may be busy raising a small child. Some may be pushing themselves at work, taking on the responsibilities of someone new while still having to fulfill your own tasks. You might be in a situation where a new person has just joined your workplace, and now you're not only doing your job, but also training them. Pressure upon pressure, piling up until you find yourself overworked, pushed beyond your limits, both physically and emotionally. No matter what situation you're in right now, the most important message this reading wants to tell you is trust. Everything you've worked for, everything you've given, it will all be returned to you. And not in a half-hearted way, but through true blessings that are coming your way. You are planting seeds of goodness in life. And even if you can't see the sprouts just yet, it doesn't mean the soil isn't fertile. It simply means the time to bloom hasn't arrived. When the moment comes, you will witness the fruits of all you've patiently and wholeheartedly nurtured. You will be rewarded. You will be recognized. You will be loved in return. However, there's another message that comes with this. Please, don't push yourself too hard. Don't force yourself into endless sacrifice. Remember, even as you walk this path of devotion, you still have the right to rest, the right to gentleness. You don't need to prove your worth through exhaustion. You are worthy of being cherished, even when you're doing nothing at all. And as I pulled the next cards, the feeling was unmistakable. You're about to be rewarded. Something is coming as a gift in return for all that you've quietly given. It might be an opportunity, a recognition, good news, or a shift that makes you feel, finally, everything I did was not in vain. And now, we'll take a look at when this moment will arrive, the time when you'll begin to feel the return, when you'll know that all your efforts have not been for nothing. Let's wait for it with hope. Because that moment, it's closer than you think. The image of the dog in this card is also quite striking. It's as if the dog is joyfully exclaiming, "I did it." A clear sense of fulfillment, of being rewarded after all the effort. And when you look into its expression, you might feel like the dog is speaking on your behalf. I've finally been seen. And I truly believe that is what's coming your way, a real, heartfelt reward. So when will it happen? The card that appeared is number 32, corresponding to the moon. The message that comes with it says, add the digits together, 3 plus 2 equals 5. So the number 5 is the time signal. It could be 5 hours after you watch this reading. It could be 5 days later. Or it might fall on a date with a number 5, such as the 5th, 15th, or 25th. Whatever the specific moment, the feeling I receive is that it's not far away. The forecast is within the next 3 months, and most likely in the month of May. This is the period when the rewards you truly deserve will begin to reveal themselves. The efforts you've made will start to blossom, and you'll see that all the sacrifices, patience, and quiet perseverance were not in vain. You might currently be in a peak period. Perhaps work is entering its busy season. Or, if you're raising a young child, this could be the phase where they require constant attention. It could also be that in your workplace, you're supporting a new colleague or picking up extra duties because someone else is still adjusting. And in love, perhaps the person you care about is overwhelmed and you find yourself waiting, compromising, enduring. Whatever your circumstance, you're doing your best to keep everything running smoothly. And that, truly, is no easy feat. But once again, the message repeats loud and clear. You will be rewarded. What you've been quietly giving out will return to you in the form of genuine blessings. Rest assured, you will not be left empty-handed. And finally, as a gentle encouragement, I pulled one more card as a soft, loving piece of advice. What I felt was the presence of fairies, lighthearted, pure, and playful energy, and the card that came out was creative expression. Express yourself creatively. This card is gently telling you, even if your life is incredibly busy right now, try to carve out just a little time, even 5 or 10 minutes, to do something that helps you reconnect with yourself. It could be drawing, writing, embroidery, crafting, coloring, playing music, cooking a favorite meal, anything that makes you feel like you're being truly you. You've been giving so much. But don't forget, giving energy also needs to be replenished. Expressing yourself in creative ways, even in small moments, is a beautiful way to nourish your own soul. And when you return to your truest self, you'll find that life begins to return blessings to you more effortlessly, more gently, and more joyfully. So, even if just for a moment, create space for yourself to breathe, to feel, to be. You deserve that. And you are already on the path toward a wholehearted return. If you're extremely busy right now, you might think, how on earth would I find time for any of that? Right? But this card is still lovingly trying to tell you something light yet sincere. Do something you enjoy. Allow yourself just a little time, even a little, for the things that make your heart feel delighted, inspired, and alive. I get a clear image of you being gently encouraged to try something like painting, coloring, or any small creative activity that brings you ease. It doesn't have to be anything grand or time-consuming, just a brief moment in which you can truly relax and return to yourself. This card isn't merely artistic advice. It carries a deeply healing message. Let yourself breathe in your own way. I opened the guidebook to read more about the meaning of this card, and the message touched me even more deeply. The card is titled Creative Urge, and it tells you this. You are carrying within you deep emotions that long to be expressed outward. Allow yourself to reconnect with your creative desires. They may be a natural instinct you once had, but have since set aside amid the busyness of life. You might be thinking, but I don't even have the energy to think, let alone feel inspired to create, and that's perfectly valid. But that's exactly why the fairies in this card want to gently remind you. When you sing, when you dance, when you decorate something, write a few lines, or simply doodle with no purpose, you are awakening your heart. That's when you begin to reconnect with your true emotions, start to hear the voice of your soul, and begin to sense guidance from the universe. You don't have to be an artist. No one is asking you to paint beautifully, write skillfully, or create something flawless. Let whatever you create be entirely your own. Not for anyone else, not to show off, not to prove anything. You can sketch a flower with a pencil. You can put a few wildflowers into a jar. You can take a photo of the sky. You can mold a small shape from clay, or simply write a short note in your journal. You don't need technique. You don't need precision. You don't need beauty. You just need to do something that makes your heart smile. No one expects a masterpiece. Go ahead and color outside the lines if you like. Let go of the goal, let go of judgment. Create like a child who's free and joyful. Perhaps it's been a long time since you last felt that way. The feeling of being truly yourself, without pressure to excel, without doing something for the sake of results, but simply doing it because it brings you joy. That's the message here. You don't need to be exceptional. You just need to be free. And that's why you're feeling moved. Not because the card is clever or profound, but because it's touching something very deep within you, a part of you that once lived fully, joyfully, innocently, and has been set aside for a long time. Now, you are being invited to return to that place, even if only for a few fleeting minutes. And perhaps it is precisely those seemingly small moments that will become the missing pieces in your healing journey. Allow yourself to savor the joy of creating something, because you are an artist, filled with the spark of inspiration. From now on, you will begin expressing yourself through creativity. Are you perhaps pursuing something artistic, something that calls for imagination? When it comes to creative expression, the most important element isn't skill or technique, it's space. The space to breathe, to feel, to dream. Whether it's drawing, coloring, singing, dancing, even arranging a vase of flowers. Though flowers aren't essential for survival, you could live without them in your home. But once placed in your space, they soften your heart, refine your emotions, and gently soothe your soul. That's the feeling I get. Maybe you're incredibly busy right now. Waking up early each morning, having breakfast, doing chores, heading to work, coming home to shower, then going straight to bed. Life feels like a long list of non-stop responsibilities, and for many, it becomes exhausting. But even so, I truly hope you can set aside just 5 minutes a day. Just 5 minutes to listen to your favorite song, sing it out loud, or dance to the rhythm. It could also be as simple as talking to a flower, snapping a photo, or if you have more time, jotting down a few lines in a journal, or even composing a piece of music, even if that might take a bit more time. What matters most is doing something you love, anything that stirs your heart. Let yourself have a small pocket of time in the day, just to breathe, to touch your real feelings. That alone, a little each day, will gradually enrich your spirit. This is the message being whispered to you by the fairies, those gentle souls of creativity. Today, I feel as though the fairies themselves are whispering this to you, that just a few small moments of ease each day are enough to breathe life back into your heart and enrich your soul. When you're busy or exhausted, That might feel like a challenge, maybe even impossible, but that's exactly why they want you to try your best to make even the tiniest bit of space in your day for something light, something that lifts you up or simply allows you to take one deep, full breath. When you're worn out, it's only natural to want nothing more than to go to bed as early as possible. Just to lie down, to close your eyes, that alone feels like a blessing. But what if you had a small jar of delicious pudding waiting for you as a little dessert at night? That alone could become a tiny joy in your day. Small pleasures like that. Watching an episode of anime before sleep, listening to a gentle piece of music, lighting a scented candle. These are the kinds of little things the fairies are hoping you'll try to weave into your daily life. Of course, there will be people who feel, I don't even have the strength left for small joys like that anymore. And I believe many of you may be in that place, too depleted to do anything beyond simply surviving. So, I drew another card, because I too wanted to know, what about those who are so completely drained of energy? What message is meant for them? The card that appeared is higher consciousness. The true meaning of this card is this: you are receiving wisdom from the universe. Wisdom that comes from your truest self, from your higher consciousness, from divine guidance. You are no longer swept away by the same fears as before. Now, you're listening with a loving and open heart. This card is also a confirmation that the things you've been sensing lately, the sudden thoughts that arise, the dreams, the directions you've been contemplating, none of it is random. These are the whispers of your soul, the calling from the unseen world reaching out to you. And you are truly beginning to hear them. Have you recently found yourself silently praying, as if asking the heavens for guidance? It is your higher self that has heard that prayer. Because you've taken precious time to truly listen, you've started to hear the voice of your soul, and as a result, you are gradually moving forward on your spiritual path with clarity and grace. No matter which path you choose, the truth is this: you have already begun walking it with steadiness. That's why the fairies are encouraging you now to engage in deeper conversations with that higher consciousness within you. Try to avoid unnecessary conflicts or tension. Take time to connect with nature, walk in open air, or perhaps join a spiritual community. These may be the kinds of soul-nourishing experiences you need right now. No matter how busy you are, the most important thing at this moment is restoration, relaxation, and healing. If you can rediscover the quiet within your heart and life, the signals from your higher consciousness, from your soul, will grow clearer and more powerful than ever. And that clarity will become your true compass, guiding you with certainty through every aspect of your life. Once again, the message returns to rest, to coming home to yourself. A soul sanctuary, a retreat nestled in nature and purity, may be exactly what you need right now. And when it comes to spiritual communities, this could be a group practicing spiritual work together, or even an online circle such as a healing space, an energy-sharing group, or a place for heartfelt connection and reflection. You might be thinking, but I can't avoid stress or conflict. And that's true. There are things in life we simply can't escape. But what the fairies gently want to tell you is this: try your best not to get pulled too deeply into the whirlwind. Slow down a little. Soften your pace. Carve out a small pocket of time, even if your schedule is tight, where you can simply breathe. Because that's how divine guidance finds its way more clearly and deeply into your life. And if you can, make use of whatever moments of rest you have. Even just 5 minutes, to do something you love, to step outside, to walk in nature, or simply to gaze at the green leaves in the park. That alone can bring a surprising sense of ease. I understand that for those who are overwhelmed, carving out time may feel like a luxury, but the fact that the fairies card appeared today is already a quiet invitation. Perhaps it's the heartfelt call of those gentle spirits, encouraging you to bring a little joy, a little inspiration, a little wow back into your everyday life, even if just for a fleeting moment. Now let's take a look at what will soon become clear to you. The breakthrough card. How wonderful. Once again, the message is emphasized. You are going to overcome your current situation. A powerful shift is coming, a breakthrough that will lift you out of the stagnant place where you've been stuck. Right now, you may be feeling exhausted, carrying everything on your shoulders, trying too hard for too long. It might feel like you're frozen in place, unable to move forward. But the message is crystal clear. You will break free from this. The breakthrough card doesn't just represent breaking through the present moment. It signals a dramatic transformation. A turning point is near. Following that comes the base chakra card, the root chakra. This speaks to your sense of safety, stability, and material foundation in life. And as soon as I saw this card, one word immediately came to mind: money. You might be feeling financial pressure or searching for a more solid foundation in your life. But take heart, the previous card already confirmed that a breakthrough is coming, both in spirit and in reality. You will be lifted, you will take flight into a new reality, one that aligns with the better version of life you've always dreamed of. As if you're stepping into a parallel timeline you've long imagined. And what's extraordinary is that none of this is fantasy. On the contrary, it's entirely real. These are not romantic, far-off dreams. This is real movement, a tangible shift that is coming into your life. A change that is both magical and concrete is making its way to you. A vivid image comes through. You are growing wings and taking flight, yet your feet remain firmly rooted on the ground. You are soaring, but not in a whimsical or fleeting way. You are rising with deep connection to the earth, to reality, to life itself. Perhaps in the past, you thought your dreams were nothing but illusions, things that could never manifest in the real world. But now you're about to see, with absolute clarity, that this isn't true. That dream, that vision is entirely possible. And you are now stepping into it. There may have been times when you questioned it all, wondering, isn't this just something I imagined? But no, something important is about to become undeniably clear. What you've been reaching for is absolutely possible. You truly can arrive at that destination. The message is coming through strongly. You are not just growing wings to fly, but you're doing so while remaining deeply rooted in the earth, in reality. And that, precisely, is the essence. The base chakra card appears again to emphasize that in this journey of ascension, what you need to cultivate most is a sense of safety, stability, and inner strength that begins at the roots. This is the first chakra in the 7-chakra system, located at the base of the spine, connecting to your survival instincts, life force, groundedness, and presence in the material world. That's why you may be encouraged to incorporate the color red into your daily life, wearing red clothing, eating red foods like tomatoes or cherry tomatoes, or using red gemstones such as garnet or red jasper. Even something as simple as painting your nails red can help activate your root chakra. Wearing red accessories or garments on the lower part of your body can help strengthen your connection to your foundation and to the physical realm. And then, something truly special begins to unfold. You will come to understand, with absolute clarity, that what you've been dreaming of is not a fantasy. It is not a foolish hope. This realization will come to you like an indescribable miracle, like a powerful current of energy rushing into your life. What I sense very strongly is this. You are on the verge of an awakening, a deep moment of realization. Wanting to see even more clearly, I pulled another card, because this is about what is about to be revealed to you. And I hoped that the next message would speak with even greater clarity. And just as if to confirm it all, the breakthrough card appears once again. This means that if you're currently feeling exhausted, stuck, or overwhelmed by a difficult situation, you're about to break free from it. A clear and decisive shift is coming. Then another card follows, Power. You are reclaiming your own strength. The energy that once felt drained from carrying too much, striving too hard, is now returning to you. This is not only confirmation that you'll rise beyond your current state, but also that you'll be recharged, refueled, and ready to reach for the future. Awakening, the manifestation of your dreams, and inner power. All of these are converging within you. A new cycle is unfolding. And this time, you won't just be flying with your own wings. You'll be standing strong, grounded, walking forward with full confidence. The message this time comes through in a rather unique and somewhat intangible way. But the core is this. Very soon, you'll be able to do what your heart truly longs to do. More importantly, you'll come to a profound realization. I've always had this power within me. This is a process of remembering, of reconnecting with your true inner strength. There's a tremendous amount of information pouring in, as if everything related to you, the true nature of the power you possess, is beginning to come into full view. You'll start to understand yourself with striking clarity, what your talents are, what makes you magnetic. And for some of you, this understanding will go even deeper, into past lives, soul purpose, the dreams you truly long to manifest, or the long-term goals you were always meant to pursue. Everything is beginning to come into focus. What you truly want to do will become clear. The direction you need to take will be illuminated. It's as if the veil that has long clouded your path is finally being lifted. A fascinating concept is also being brought forth here, the awakening of the self, a clear and conscious sense of you. Of course, everyone has a sense of self, but this isn't merely the existence of the ego, it's the distinct emergence of your authentic identity. Like a newborn child slowly recognizing, this is me, You two are entering a phase of realization. This is who I truly am. You will begin to sense, with increasing clarity, what you like, and just as importantly, what you don't. Perhaps until now you've felt uncertain, unclear about what truly excites you. Maybe you're someone who's always easy to get along with, someone who easily agrees with others, who hasn't felt strongly drawn to choosing one thing over another. And there's nothing wrong with that. But soon, that will begin to change. You may suddenly find that the things you once loved no longer resonate with you. Or, on the other hand, something you never gave much attention to might suddenly stir your soul. All of this is a sign that you're reconnecting with your truest self. You are awakening. You are rediscovering your own voice and your own direction, no longer moving on autopilot or following others' expectations, but living with clarity, intention, strength, and deep self-awareness. You may come to realize that the things you once disliked or thought you weren't good at are in fact areas where you have genuine talent, even joy. There is a clarifying process unfolding within you, as if a once blurry image is now being outlined in bold, defined strokes. The distinction between what you truly enjoy and what you don't is about to become more vivid than ever. If you've been someone who often felt, this is okay, or that's not too bad, or I don't really hate it, in the near future you'll begin to see things much more clearly. This is something I genuinely love, while that no longer belongs in my life. And this clarity won't be limited to hobbies or career paths. It will extend to relationships, living environments, even the places where you work. For example, if you've maintained a relationship simply because it wasn't unbearable or because you've grown used to it, you may soon feel a clear inner signal. I no longer want to be part of this connection. It could be a friend, a long-standing acquaintance, a romantic partner, or some other bond you've held onto more out of habit than heartfelt resonance. And now, you'll sense it plainly. I don't need to keep this going anymore. The same applies to your surroundings. Perhaps you've been staying somewhere with the mindset of it's fine, or I'll just deal with it. Not everyone gets to choose. But soon, you'll start to feel, why am I putting up with this? Why am I forcing myself to remain in a space that doesn't align with me? You will no longer be willing to accept ambiguity or just enough. Everything will become clear, not because there's a universal right or wrong, but because you are finally beginning to understand what truly resonates with who you are. You will begin to recognize which environments make you feel at ease, where your heart opens, and which places no longer resonate with you. From there, you'll start a journey of making more conscious choices, choosing who stays, who departs, and which surroundings will walk with you into the next phase of your life. All of this isn't happening because the world outside is changing, but because you're changing from within, becoming more authentic, more clear, and more aligned with your truth. You may come to a real decision. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye to someone, to a company, to a certain place, even to the home you currently live in. Perhaps you once truly loved your living space, but now you may begin to feel a pull. I want to live somewhere else, a new land, a room with a different kind of energy. These desires aren't random. They're signs that you're entering a phase of deep transformation, where endings and beginnings are unfolding at the same time. Some of you may be stepping into a period of graduation, closing a chapter, releasing an old way of living or an outdated environment. Others may be preparing to begin something entirely new. For instance, if you've been wondering whether you should start your own business, this may be the moment where you finally gain clarity. Perhaps you've been torn between many possibilities. I love design. I'm also a good listener. Maybe I could be a counselor. Or a consultant. I enjoy making things by hand. I can write music or sing or dance. Maybe everything has seemed appealing, everything worth doing, and that's why you haven't been able to choose just one path. But soon, you will discover the one thing that truly makes your heart leap, that unmistakable feeling. This is it. That moment will feel like being handed the power star in a Mario game, suddenly invincible, overflowing with energy, ready to break through every limit. It will be as if you've grown wings, not to fly away in a dreamy or unrealistic way, but to rise with full strength and stability. Your feet remain firmly planted on the ground. You remain present in reality, yet you can now soar to wherever your heart desires. This feeling is best described as an ideal state, one where freedom and stability exist side by side, where you are grounded, yet uplifted. And this is the gift that awaits you when the coming clarity finally arrives. You will know exactly who you are. Your talents, your magnetism, your true essence will become undeniable. You may even come to understand your past lives, the soul mission you carried into this world, your truest dream, your real purpose. All of it will begin to unfold before you. A profound awakening lies ahead, a time when you will no longer feel scattered or unsure, but instead become unified, powerful, and radiant from within. The message is saying that you may come to realize a deep connection between the things you love in this life and experiences from your past lives. You may awaken to the understanding of your soul's mission in this lifetime, that you weren't born merely to exist, but to fulfill something your soul has long yearned for. It could be something you've done before in a previous incarnation, or perhaps something you once longed to do but never had the chance to complete, and now the opportunity has come for you to continue that path. If this sounds too mystical or spiritual, that's perfectly okay, because the truth is, we are all drawn to certain things in this world, and what you love is never random. For instance, I personally have a deep love for divination cards, a fascination with natural stones, and a connection with angels, fairies, dragon spirits, and magical beings like unicorns. These aren't just fleeting curiosities, they feel familiar, like old friends. And perhaps that's because, in another time, I once walked alongside those very spirits, once belonged to that unseen world. And maybe you have, too. If you love cooking, maybe you once were a chef, or someone who nurtured others through food. Or perhaps you always longed to live a life connected to the culinary arts, but never had the chance to pursue it. Whatever the case, your current interests and passions may well be echoes, soul memories carried over from lifetimes past, now resurfacing as a quiet calling from deep within you. And you'll begin to recognize it, as if a faint layer of memory is suddenly becoming clear. You'll feel something stir within you. So this is what I've truly loved all along. Or, on the other hand, I never really liked this, and I no longer need to force myself to pretend otherwise. This realization won't just help you understand yourself better, it will open a doorway to a deep connection with your soul, where your true passions are awakened, where you no longer live by patterns or pressure, but begin to live authentically, from ancient memory to the dream that is now taking shape in your present. Some of you may even come to a realization so moving it brings tears to your eyes. So this is why I came to Earth, to do this very thing. The thing you are most drawn to, most captivated by, might be the very reason your soul chose to be born into this lifetime. Isn't that beautiful? I believe many of you who are reading this will experience something unique, because every soul has its own journey, its own past. Especially when it comes to past lives. No two stories are ever the same. But the most important message here is this: you've always known. You know who you were. You know why you came here. You know what gifts you carry, and what makes your heart come alive. All you need to do now is remember. Just remember. And don't let yourself believe that you're not good enough, or that you have nothing special to offer, because that's simply not true. In fact, some of the clearest clues about your natural gifts and inner magnetism have already been given to you, in the form of compliments others have shared with you over the years. When someone said, "You're so good at that," or "You have something really special," or "That was amazing," those words weren't just kindness. They were mirrors reflecting your own brilliance back to you. Maybe you didn't believe it then. Maybe you couldn't fully accept it. But those truths were always yours. And one more thing. If there's something you love that others have dismissed as strange, unrealistic, or delusional, then that's all the more reason to pay attention to it. For example, if you once dreamed of becoming a singer, a model, an actor, or an idol, and people responded with, "Seriously? Stop dreaming. Who do you think you are?" Then that very desire might be a powerful clue to your soul's mission. Because not everyone dares to dream big, and not everyone can hold onto the light of their dreams in the face of judgment and criticism. Your longing isn't random. Perhaps in a past life, you lived in that world. Maybe you were an artist, an inspirer, someone who touched hearts through creative expression. And if you still dream of that path today, then perhaps it is the very gateway calling you back to the soul path you once chose. Once again, you have the chance to live it fully in this lifetime. You already know. You simply need to remember. And this time, be brave enough to walk toward what your heart has always yearned for. Perhaps you carry a mission within you, one that involves sharing something meaningful with others through the very thing that you love, through the path your soul is naturally drawn to. For example, in my own case, I've always been deeply in love with oracle cards, tarot, and natural crystals, and yet I have to admit, from the outside, these things are often misunderstood. They're labeled as suspicious, mystical, strange, or even taboo. For that reason, there was a time when I tried to hide my passion, afraid of being judged, afraid people would think I was odd or lost in fantasy. And yet, no matter how much logic tried to stop me, I was always drawn back. Whenever I walked past a shop selling stones or cards, something in me felt pulled, like an invisible force urging me in. When someone spoke about spirituality or energy, I found myself unconsciously tuning in, listening intently. My body, my heart, my soul, they all responded in unison to what truly belonged to me. And that's the sign. The things that draw you in without explanation, the things that tug at your spirit even when you try to ignore them, those are the hidden clues. The things that make your soul lean forward, even if your mind pulls back. Those are the gateways to who you really are. You are like a flower in a vast garden, possessing countless talents, charms, and precious qualities. But if you yourself refuse to recognize those things, if you don't allow yourself to shine, then no one else can help you discover them. No one can fully see your beauty unless you permit yourself to bloom. That's not something others will come to find and hand back to you. You are the only one who can open that door. The message may sound a bit stern, but it is the truth. You must give yourself permission. Stop waiting for someone else to acknowledge you. You must step forward and say, I accept. I allow myself to live in alignment with what I love. As for past lives, there are indeed people who can help reflect these things back to you, such as therapists who specialize in past life regression. Or you can explore it on your own through guided meditations and past life regression sessions. If you search past life regression meditation on YouTube, you'll find quite a few videos. I've done that myself, and to be honest, I often end up falling asleep not long into the meditation. But in doing so, the subconscious gently opens, and insights will come to you when you least expect them. You are also completely encouraged to seek support from others. That's absolutely valid. But no matter which path you choose, the most important thing remains: your own inner sense of knowing. Sometimes you don't need a clear explanation or logical reasoning, just a vague but unmistakable feeling that this is it, that you can feel it. And that is the answer. Your intuition is always right. And your soul, through lifetimes upon lifetimes, has always known the path you are meant to walk. You just need to dare to trust and dare to listen. I have a feeling that you possess many gifts. So let me draw a card from the Life Purpose Oracle deck to see what insights might come through, perhaps something about your strengths or natural talents. If you're someone who already knows exactly what you want to do, who fully understands your own allure and strong points, then feel free to skip this part. But if you're still unsure, still searching for what truly suits you, then this may offer a helpful nudge. The first card that appears is writing. It seems you have a natural talent for writing. You may be someone who writes beautifully, someone with a gift for expression, someone who knows how to arrange words in a way that touches people's hearts. Or perhaps you write in a very clear, straightforward, and articulate manner, making it easy for others to grasp your message at once. This might be a skill you haven't fully recognized or honored yet, but it is, in fact, a precious gift that resides within you. And if you're already doing this, wonderful. Keep going. But if you haven't begun yet, I'm not saying this to pressure you into doing something you're not ready for, but maybe, just maybe, you might want to give it a try. The energy here suggests that you're someone who can easily connect with messages from the universe, from deeper dimensions, like when you hold a tarot or oracle deck and the messages seem to flow to you naturally. It's likely that you're someone meant to convey these subtle insights through your own words. In addition, another card reveals that you may also have a gift for teaching and sharing knowledge. You might be someone who can explain things in a way that others can easily understand. Or perhaps you have the ability to build a community, a space where people can come together to learn, to grow, and to support each other. That too is something that lies within your natural capacity. Looking at the entire message, I can clearly feel this. You are someone with the power to inspire through words, both spoken and written, in a way that is profound yet accessible. Moreover, you may be someone who creates space, not just physical space, but also emotional and spiritual space, where others feel connected, supported, and free to be themselves. Perhaps you're already writing. Perhaps you're working in a field related to tarot reading or spiritual communication. If that's the case, then you're truly on the right path. And if you haven't begun yet, maybe now is the time to try writing something, nothing elaborate, just something from the heart. You may be surprised by how much unfolds from there. Because what you carry within you, your messages, your emotions, your intuition, are meant to be shared with the world. And you absolutely have the ability to do that. You may already be working with cards, and perhaps you've even made it your profession. If so, what you need to know is this: you truly have a gift for delivering messages through the cards. You have a special talent for using the cards as a bridge to bring messages to others. You communicate them in a way that is easy to understand and deeply touching, something that goes beyond just interpreting cards. It is an act of healing, of offering hope, of uplifting another person's soul. What you're doing or may begin to do is a kind of calling. because the messages that come through your readings, have the power to illuminate the paths of many. And you may not stop at just reading cards. You might expand even further, perhaps teaching, guiding others, helping them understand how to connect with the cards, with their intuition, and ultimately with their own inner truth. The School card appears as a reminder that there are many people who want to learn from you. You have a gift for teaching. The way you share knowledge is easy to understand. It doesn't come across as forceful or dogmatic, but instead feels uplifting and full of inspiration. You may become a guide, a mentor, especially in fields related to spirituality, divination, healing, or energy work. And this is only one facet of the many talents you possess. I believe there are countless other abilities within you, waiting to be discovered. The universe is gently reminding you that you have so much to give. More importantly, in the near future, you'll come to a very clear realization. This is the path I want to walk. This is what I truly want to do. The uncertainty, the hesitation, they will fall away. You'll feel it deeply in your heart. This is the right direction. This is something I want to commit to. Not only that, you will begin to distinguish more clearly between the relationships and interests in your life. You'll find yourself thinking, I no longer want to be close to this person, or I genuinely enjoy being around that person, or even, I feel powerfully drawn to this pursuit. Everything will start to make more sense within you. Your inner world will become clearer, more aligned. And as for timing, when will this clarity arrive? There is a number that appears here. The number 6. This shift could begin as soon as 6 hours after you watch this message, or within the next 6 days. Additionally, time frames associated with the number 6, such as the 6th, 16th, or 26th of the month, are also important milestones to watch for. During those times, you may receive clarity, a spiritual awakening, or a significant sign from the universe, as if a door opens and you are gently guided toward the path your soul chose long before it came into this world. The message is emphasizing this. You are about to clearly see something deeply important about yourself. Something will become undeniable, no longer vague, no longer confusing. You will understand yourself more profoundly than ever before. To find out if there are any signs that might appear before this happens, I drew another card. And that card is crystal. Isn't that beautiful? A card about natural stones and crystals, something that carries a very powerful energy. From this, I get a very strong sense that you may truly be aligned with work involving tarot, oracle, or other forms of spiritual healing. Perhaps you are already a reader, or you're on the path to becoming one. Do you feel a special connection to natural stones, crystals, or gems? I believe many of you here may already have an interest in these things, or you'll begin to feel more drawn to them in the near future. You might suddenly feel a desire to buy a particular crystal, or receive one as a gift, or keep noticing crystal shops popping up along your path. All of these could be signs pointing toward the awakening that is approaching. You might also suddenly feel curious, wanting to explore the energetic properties of different stones, or feel called to own a specific crystal, or happen to overhear someone mentioning crystals in a seemingly random conversation. These are not coincidences. They are signs that you are getting closer to understanding yourself more clearly and to uncovering a deeper layer of your soul. Next, I wanted to know, when you finally recognize that truth, when you truly see your authentic self, how will you feel? The card that appeared is Into My Z, a beautifully crafted play on words, which can be understood as, I see into myself. Though the phrasing is a bit intricate, the deeper meaning of this card is clear. You will turn inward and face yourself with sincerity and depth. You will stop seeking answers from outside and begin to see that everything you need to know has always existed within your own soul. You will begin to see yourself as a mirror, as a soul with its own unique worth and light. And you'll realize, so this is who I am. This is what I've always carried within me. This is why I am here in this world. That moment won't feel like an overwhelming burst. It will be more like a gentle recognition, a quiet knowing that touches you deeply. It's like a soft ray of light shining straight into your soul, not blinding, not urgent, just a steady, undeniable presence saying, I have found myself. Truly, the feeling is like everything coming into harvest, like witnessing the response to all the signs that have ever shown up in your life. All the pieces, the dots that once seemed scattered and random, will begin to connect and form a clear picture. The things you couldn't explain before, why you've always been drawn to something, why certain topics always held your attention, or why you felt distant or resistant to certain things, all of it will begin to make perfect sense. And the clarity will be profound, persuasive, and deeply resonant. That feeling is like an inner nod of agreement, like you're looking back on your own past and finally able to connect the dots between the present moment and all the unanswered questions that once lingered. It's a process of confirmation, as if you've been taking a long test and have now received the answers to the things you've been pondering for so long. You'll feel a deep realization. So all of those experiences were leading me to this very moment. Your existence, the things you've loved, disliked, endured, all of it held meaning. None of it was random. Everything had a reason. And now, you begin to see that with the eyes of your soul. This reading truly carries a deeply spiritual energy, especially for those who felt drawn to this particular message. A card from the Soul Consciousness group has appeared, indicating that you may be someone with a strong intuitive and spiritual sensitivity. You're not just seeking a direction, you are listening to the call of your soul. And that moment of resonance, that moment when you feel a surge of certainty, yes, this is it. That is your soul recognizing what it's been seeking all along. It may be a person and you'll realize, so this is why I met them. You'll know they didn't cross your path by chance, but because they were meant to at the right time for the right reason. It may also be a vocation, and in a sudden moment of clarity, you'll recognize, this is what I was born to do. This is my mission. This is why I came into this life. That understanding will no longer be a question or a doubt. It will be a quiet, unwavering truth, filled with strength and inner peace. All the questions that once lingered in your heart, about your emotions, about people, about choices, about your soul, are now beginning to find their answers. And you will come to understand that nothing has ever been meaningless. Everything has been guiding you to the exact place where you truly belong. And the moment you know that for sure is the moment you begin to live in alignment with your soul more deeply than ever before. It turns out the reason you've always felt drawn to certain things, certain people, is because everything has been interconnected all along. You'll suddenly realize, so I had to go through all those goodbyes in order to meet this person, or I had to leave that previous job, so I could arrive at the work I'm doing now. Everything starts to click, every puzzle piece, every upheaval, every moment in your life, like a story that's been written long ago, and now you've reached the chapter where it all comes together, where everything begins to make sense. I know this may sound deeply spiritual, perhaps even a little mystical, but it truly carries the feeling of, so this is what it all means. You might find yourself thinking, could it be that I was a seer or a prophet in a past life? Or, now I understand why I've always felt so drawn to this person. It's because we had a soul connection in a previous lifetime. Perhaps they are your soulmate, your twin flame. These realizations, no matter how profound, how expansive, how otherworldly they may seem, are gradually being revealed to you. And they are not here to confuse you. On the contrary, they are arriving to help you see more clearly the path you are walking, the people you encounter, the work you are meant to do. All of it is part of your soul's journey. And then you may ask, what should I do to make this process of realization clearer? Is there anything I can do to support this awakening? I drew a card to find the answer, and it's truly beautiful. Guidance. And not only that, it's card number 44, the number of powerful spiritual protection, of angels, of soul missions. The message is clear. You are someone who carries within you the energy of guidance. You have the ability to transmit messages from the universe, from the unseen realms, to those who are searching for light. You are an oracle, a sacred messenger. And more than just a gift, this is your calling. A calling not meant to be showcased, but to be shared through your heart, your compassion, your intuition. So, the best thing you can do right now is to listen to your intuition. Spend time connecting inwardly. Meditate, write down what you sense, and observe the signs that appear in your everyday life. You don't need to force any of it, just relax and allow it in. Because the truth is, everything you need to know, you already know. It lives within you, waiting to be remembered. And you are very close to that moment, where you will not only understand who you are, but also know why you came here. As for what you can do to support this process of seeing yourself more clearly, or to help clarify what is awakening within you, card number 44, Guidance, offers a sacred answer. I understand that some of you may not feel entirely drawn to spiritual concepts, so I share this with gentleness and respect. The number 44 is a profoundly special one, the number of angelic protection, of divine guidance, of messages from higher dimensions. And the advice here is this. Try connecting with the unseen, with the energies you may not be able to perceive through your physical senses. It doesn't have to be anything lofty. It could be as simple as pulling one oracle card a day to have a quiet conversation with your soul, or sitting in stillness to meditate and listen for the voice within. If you've already been using oracle or tarot cards, that's wonderful, keep going. But if you haven't yet explored them, this might be the perfect time to begin. Choose a simple oracle deck that you feel drawn to and start listening to its messages each day. The more you practice, the more you'll feel your soul awakening. You'll begin to notice parts of yourself, parts that have long been dormant, stirring, awakening, and coming to life. In addition, you might consider trying meditation. It doesn't need to be complicated, just a quiet space and a few minutes each day to breathe and return to yourself. If meditation feels unfamiliar or you haven't tried it before, reading spiritual books or watching videos about the soul's journey or intuitive awakening can also be gentle ways to start connecting. And if you're someone who doesn't resonate much with spiritual concepts, that's perfectly okay. In truth, connecting with the unseen doesn't always require mystical beliefs. You might visit a sacred place, like a temple or a shrine, or simply take a walk beneath the trees, gaze at the sky, and let your heart soften. Meeting the divine sometimes requires no ritual, only sincerity and a quiet moment to listen to yourself. If you've stayed with this message all the way to the end, I truly believe you carry a special sensitivity within you, and whether you call it spiritual or not, the deepest part of you is ready to be seen, to be understood, and to be lived fully. All you need to do now is open your heart and walk alongside this unfolding, gently, with respect, with trust, and with small, loving steps each day. I sense the image of a boat setting off on a journey, as if there's a quiet message whispering, step out of your comfort zone. Try setting foot in a place you've never been. It could be a physical destination, a region, a land, a foreign country you've never visited. But at the same time, it carries a deeper meaning. Enter a new world, a spiritual space you've never ventured into before. That world might be a spiritual practice you've felt hesitant about, a path you haven't yet dared to take. You may begin meditating, pulling oracle cards, learning to sense energy, or simply sitting in silence and listening to what rises within you. Whether physical or spiritual, the message here is, go somewhere new. Step into a space that has never belonged to you before. If you still feel unsure about spiritual things, visiting a sacred place like a temple or a shrine can be a beautiful way to reconnect with yourself. And even if you're unfamiliar with such spaces, simply stepping outside and going somewhere you've never been before is enough to awaken a new current of energy within you. There's a strong possibility that when you arrive, whether it's a distant land or a deep inner realm, you will receive a clear awakening. A wave of inspiration, a flicker of light, or a quiet inner voice may reach you. Your soul will respond. It will stir. You may feel something unfamiliar, something deeply moving, as if your true self has just awakened. And that moment may very well be the beginning of you fully feeling who you are. I'm sorry if this sounds too spiritual, but that is truly the energy being conveyed. And I feel it very strongly. You are nearing a sacred moment, a moment when you will clearly know who you are. Next, I pulled additional guidance for your journey, your lucky place, lucky food, and lucky person, to offer more support during this powerful period of soul transformation. It's clear that your spirit is going through a profound shift. And it is through this very transformation that you will come to a deep realization. So this is who I truly am. When you dare to step outside your comfort zone, when you try something new, whether it's setting foot in an unfamiliar place or reaching into a spiritual world you've never allowed yourself to explore, your life will begin to shift in remarkable ways. Everything, love, career, even finances, will start to flow in the direction your heart desires. You'll discover that you have the power to shape a reality aligned with your dreams. You'll become the one steering your own destiny. You'll be able to turn things around, as if everything is gently resting in the palm of your hand. As for your lucky place, the image that came through resembles a temple. While the card itself doesn't directly depict a shrine, the energy unmistakably evokes the feeling of a temple with long, ascending steps, perhaps a sacred place where you must climb stair after stair to reach the inner sanctum. If visiting a temple doesn't resonate with you, or if you're not particularly drawn to spiritual sites, simply going to a place with high, extended steps can be just as powerful, a historical site, a hill, or a small mountain. As you ascend each step, you may feel your soul awakening with every movement upward. It becomes a symbolic act, a ritual of inner elevation. Regarding your lucky food, the message is sweet pastries, especially cake and macarons. These gentle, delicate desserts can help lift your energetic frequency, bringing in sensations of joy, softness, and inspiration. They also serve as symbolic gifts, something you can offer yourself as you go through this transformation. Treating yourself to these sweets can be a way to open your heart to sweetness, to tenderness, and to the gentle delight of becoming who you truly are. Finally, your lucky person is someone whose sun or moon is in Pisces or Gemini. This individual could be a friend, a teacher, a source of inspiration, or simply someone who appears at just the right moment to deliver a message your soul needs to hear. They may be deeply intuitive, emotionally sensitive, or carry a light, intelligent, and adaptable energy. And perhaps the one sharing this message with you right now is someone who carries those astrological qualities, who knows maybe our connection in this very moment is part of that destined flow. If someone in your life, perhaps a friend or a family member, has Sagittarius placements in their natal chart, they too may be your lucky person at this time. If possible, spend time with them, or even just reach out with a message or a call. Reconnecting could open a new stream of energy, bringing with it a subtle yet powerful support that you'll feel deeply. And now, for the final part, your message of guidance. I've drawn a card from the Divine Dragon Oracle, and the message is, begin. Card number 11. Another sacred number, like 11, like 44, repeating numbers that symbolize divine guidance and spiritual awakening. The dragon card carries the energy of swift-moving air, symbolizing decisive, powerful action with no hesitation. This is a message urging you, start now. If there's something you've been wavering on, learning a new language, taking a trip, changing your job, or pursuing what you truly love, but you haven't yet taken the first step, then this is your confirmation. It's time to move. The actions you take during this period won't just bring you closer to your goals. They have the potential to open up something entirely new, to create a major turning point in your life. This is a time when creative energy is heightened, when focused effort can lead to remarkably positive results. This card also brings the message that once you begin, you will find yourself tapped into a powerful stream of focus. The universe is standing behind you, urging you forward. Don't wait until everything is perfectly in place before you begin, because it is your action that will create that perfection. Whether it's a journey you've always dreamed of, a language you've wanted to learn, or a path you've quietly nurtured in your heart, take that first step, and you'll see the magic begin to unfold. You are not alone. There's a force behind you, a wind from the unseen realms helping to lift your sails and carry you forward. Now is the moment to move ahead with confidence, with your heart, your actions, and the light of your soul. Instead of staying in a loop of hesitation and overthinking, just begin. As you act, your focus will sharpen, and through practice, you'll build the inner strength to go even further. And once you clarify what it is you truly want to pursue, your companions, those who genuinely support your path, will also appear, as if sent by the universe to walk beside you and energize your journey. For supporting your body and activating positive energy, gently massage your calves, especially using upward strokes, from bottom to top, to help energy circulate more freely. The lucky color for you in this upcoming period is yellow. You can wear yellow clothing or carry small yellow items like accessories, handbags, or notebooks. Your lucky foods are those rich in protein, such as meat, fish, and eggs. These energy sources will help you maintain strength and determination as you step into your new journey. Your lucky place is somewhere quiet, a peaceful cafe, a cozy corner of your home where you can turn off the TV and let silence fill the space. Additionally, places with long staircases are especially favorable for you. Each step you climb symbolizes the awakening and ascension of your soul. Your keywords today are soul awakening, liberation, freedom. The image of the dog on the card, stretching freely and comfortably, reflects that you are entering a phase of release from outdated limitations. Your soul is expanding, opening up, and reaching toward the light. With that, I'll close today's reading for those of you who chose pile 2. If you enjoyed this message, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is an incredible source of motivation that encourages me to keep sharing meaningful readings. If any part of today's message touched your heart, feel free to leave a comment, or simply drop a small emoji to let me know it resonated with you. I deeply appreciate every message and look forward to hearing your thoughts. Thank you so much for staying until the end of the video. I'll see you again in the next reading. Hello, everyone who chose pile 3. Thank you for waiting. Now, I'll begin the reading for those of you who selected the 3rd pile. I hope this reading brings you healing, new insights, and moments filled with love. Before diving into the main message, the truth that's about to become clear to you, I'd like to first take a brief look at your current situation to gain a more complete perspective. The first card that appears is the Chariot, but it's in the reverse position. The next card is the Four of Pentacles. From these two cards, here's what I feel. If the Chariot were upright, it would represent someone charging forward with confidence, determination, and unstoppable momentum. However, in its reverse position, it suggests that you might be in a state of inaction, indecision, or feeling unable to move forward. You could be experiencing a sense of confusion, lack of direction, or simply lacking the courage to take the steps you desire. There may be something you deeply want to change or pursue, but you're holding yourself back, unable to step outside your comfort zone. Perhaps it's the fear of failure, fear of loss, or just the fear that you might not succeed that's causing you to hesitate. The Four of Pentacles, in its upright position, reinforces this energy. This card is often associated with holding tightly, being defensive, or worried about losing what you currently have. It's as if you truly want to do something new or take a leap, but you're being overly cautious, afraid of making the wrong move or letting go of what feels secure. It could also be that you're going through a phase of burnout, physically exhausted, mentally drained, which means that even though you may wish for change, you simply don't have the energy to initiate it right now. In summary, your current energy feels like this. You want to move forward, but you can't. You want change, but don't yet have the courage. Or perhaps you already know what needs to be done, but simply can't begin right now. You might be tired, or maybe you're worrying too much about things that haven't even happened yet. However, this is exactly why today's reading is bringing you a very important message, something that will soon become clear to you, a turning point that can help you break free from this stagnation. And I'll continue to uncover that message in the next part. Even though your current life may not seem too bad on the surface, deep down, there's always been a quiet feeling within you that says, I want more than this. You long for change. Perhaps you're temporarily accepting your present reality because it feels safe and nothing is necessarily wrong, but at the same time, you're dreaming of something bigger, deeper, more meaningful. When I look at the cards, the image of the Death card, symbolizing endings and rebirth, suddenly appears in my mind, even though it isn't actually the card on the table. But the feeling is strikingly similar. It's as though you're standing at the threshold of a new phase, ready to close one chapter and step into a new journey. There's a very clear desire within you to shed the old, to be reborn, to redefine yourself, to cut ties with what feels half-hearted, to make a bold decision and live by it. In the image of the card, there's also a skeleton, a symbol often associated with the Death card. But what stands out is that this skeleton isn't moving. It's sitting on a chair, as if it's waiting for something. And what I sense from this is that you do want to change. You do have the urge to move forward, but for now, you feel unable to take action. Maybe external circumstances aren't allowing it yet. Maybe it's the influence of others holding you back, or maybe, deep down, you're still waiting for a sign, for a push, for something to awaken that momentum within you. It's not that you're placing blame on anyone, but you might be feeling something along the lines of, if only that person would change, or if only someone else made a decision first, or if only the circumstances were different, then I'd be able to move forward. It's as if you've been placed in a passive position, even though deep down, you long to be the one taking initiative. Maybe you're waiting for someone to make the first move, or hoping for a specific event to occur that would serve as the catalyst for the transformation you're yearning for. But all of that is also contributing to this stuck feeling, wanting to move but unable to, wanting to act but not yet doing so. This situation runs deep. It's not simply a matter of lacking motivation or being lazy. It's a delicate phase in which your soul is craving growth, transformation, and expansion, yet your body or your circumstances are not quite ready to allow that shift to unfold just yet. And this is the moment when guidance becomes essential, so that the first step can emerge when you're truly ready. I'll continue drawing more cards to go deeper into what's about to become clear, something that could help you break out of this in-between state and step into the new chapter your heart has been aching for. The next card that appears is the Hermit, reversed. For some of you, you may have been torn between this pile and pile one because the energy here has certain similarities and even shares some of the same cards. The Eight of Cups also shows up in this reading, but while it appeared upright in pile one, here it is reversed. This might reflect your earlier hesitation or sense that pile one also contained something that resonated with you, and that's valid because there's a deep layer of energy within you that is still waiting to be illuminated. Right now, your energy carries a very distinct feeling, wanting to walk away but being unable to, wanting to change but unable to take action, wanting to let go but not quite ready in your heart. Whether it's in love, work, or a personal life situation, it seems you're caught in a prolonged state of hesitation. You've sensed that something no longer fits, but you haven't been able to leave, haven't said goodbye, or haven't accepted that it's time to move on to a new chapter. You may feel like everything is stuck, as if you've tried, but nothing is unfolding the way you hoped. Even though you deeply want to move forward, every time you think of taking action, you're pulled back by worry, hesitation, or simply the inability to decide. Perhaps you feel frustrated with yourself for not being able to act, or, on the other hand, upset with someone else for not changing, not being clear, not behaving the way you expected. The reversed Hermit card also suggests that you might be too immersed in your own thoughts, too withdrawn into your inner world, to clearly see what's happening around you. You've been thinking deeply, isolating yourself in your comfort zone, quietly searching for answers, but perhaps that very process has only made things more confusing. This isn't a lack of effort. On the contrary, you've put in a great deal of effort, trying to understand, to feel, to listen to yourself. But because so much of that effort has been internal and solitary, you may now feel exhausted. The answers haven't revealed themselves, no action has been taken, and you're still stuck. What I feel strongly is that you don't want to give up, but you also don't want to continue as things are, and it's that inner conflict that's tearing you apart. You may feel like you're betraying yourself for not having the courage to break free, or feel as though someone else is keeping you trapped in a situation you no longer have control over. All of these emotions are valid. They are the honest reflections of someone who is awakening, someone who has begun to clearly see the disconnect between their heart and their current reality, yet hasn't found the first step to break free. And that's exactly why the message that's coming to you next is this: what truth is about to become clear? What will help you untangle the knot, see the path ahead, and act with the confidence you've been yearning for? That answer is drawing near. It seems that right now you're carrying a sense of impatience and inner frustration toward a situation or a person that lacks clarity. You may be thinking to yourself, why won't they just make a decision already? Why can't they act decisively? Just tell me what you really want, as if you're waiting for something from someone in order to move forward, but they remain vague, non-committal. There might be someone in your life who is making you feel held back, drained of motivation, or simply not aligned with your direction. It could be a romantic partner, a friend, a colleague, or anyone who currently occupies a significant space in your mind. And what's exhausting is this: you don't understand what they're thinking, they don't speak plainly, or they keep you in a gray area, preventing you from moving forward, yet not fully letting you go either. Perhaps you've tried very hard to read this person, to figure out what they're thinking, how they're feeling, or what they might do next. But all of that has only made you feel more trapped, like you're walking in circles with no way out. And because you don't understand, because you can't grasp what's truly going on, you grow even more exhausted, unable to let go. If this isn't about a specific person, it might be about a situation in which even you don't know what to do next. It feels like you're spinning inside a maze, trying one path after another, yet still unable to find the exit. You're not entirely hopeless, but it's clear you're drained, confused, and overwhelmed by the absence of clear answers to the questions you've been carrying in your heart. The Oracle card that appears now carries a heavy emotional weight, the fatigue that comes from not understanding, the heartache that comes from lack of clarity, and the emotional imprisonment caused by uncertainty. It feels as if someone or something is holding you in a state of waiting, making it impossible for you to move forward. And then the next card drawn is the Ten of Swords, not just once, but twice, with one of them appearing in the reverse position. This is a powerful image of deep pain, endings, or a moment where suffering has reached its peak. But when this card appears reversed, it's also a sign that the worst is over, and now is the time to begin healing. You may be standing at a pivotal moment, right before everything is released, right before you see the light at the end of the tunnel. Even though you may still be walking through the darkness, this isn't where you'll stay forever. Because when pain reaches its peak, that is also when transformation begins. In the next part of the reading, I'll continue drawing cards to see exactly what truth is about to become clear for you, and what path is waiting on the other side of all this confusion, hurt, and hesitation. The message from this reading is that your current situation is about to shift in a positive direction. Everything you've been feeling, fatigue, stagnation, the sense that there's no way out, none of it will last forever. The card carries a very clear energy. The difficult phase is coming to an end. You may be in a place where all you want to do is give up, run away, or where your spirit feels like it's hit rock bottom. You might be thinking, I've tried everything I could, or there's nothing left to fix in this situation, or I have no idea what the other person is thinking, wanting, planning. All of that chaos may be pushing you to the edge, making you want to scream, to let go completely. But the message here is unmistakable. Things will change. And not just change, but shift noticeably for the better, as if the final storm is about to pass. You will not stay in this endless cycle of hopelessness. As for timing, when this shift will begin, the number 4 has been highlighted. This could mean as soon as 4 hours after you watch this reading, or 4 days from now, or on dates that carry the number 4, such as the 4th, 14th, or 24th of the month. And there's a gentle message I received as well. Immerse yourself in warm water. If you're someone who usually only takes showers, try to soak in a bath during this time. Even if you don't have a bathtub, simply soaking your feet in hot water can also help. Water will soothe your spirit, cleanse old energy, and restore rhythm to your body and emotions. This act of soaking isn't just for relaxation. It's a symbolic ritual of energy transition. It helps you shed the heaviness and fatigue, allowing you to step gently into a brighter phase. So if you feel like you're at your breaking point, know this. You are not abandoned, you are not lost, and you are not on the wrong path. You're simply approaching a turning point. And the change, though you may not yet be able to envision it, is drawing very near. Hold onto a little faith and let the warm water soothe your soul as you wait for that transformation to begin. Honestly, I hadn't planned to go this deep into this part, but let's explore. Why does the number 4 signal this upcoming shift? Why is it around the time marked by for that things begin to improve? When I asked this question, a message came through. There will be a closure, a conclusion. It's as if you've arrived at some final stopping point. Perhaps the situation you're in has lasted for quite some time, and now it's simply that moment, the moment where things come to an end, that has finally arrived. That's the current flow of energy approaching you. And truly, you won't have to carry this weight or live in uncertainty much longer. The card shows that the burden on your shoulders is about to be lifted. There is also the 3 of Wands, showing an image of you looking out into the distance with hope and expectation. When I asked again why things begin to improve at the time marked by the number 4, the card almost flew out of the deck with striking force. It simply said, a chapter has ended. And before this moment, things didn't happen because the timing wasn't right. You might feel, wait, that's it. But that's truly the reason. Alright, let me pull one more card. The next card continues to emphasize that time connected to the number 4, that is the right time. The time when things are meant to unfold. So if you're currently in a period of confusion, if it feels like nothing is moving forward or negativity just keeps dragging on, it's because the moment for resolution hasn't yet arrived. The message is clear. Now is not the time for everything to be solved, not the time for closure. And yes, that might feel frustrating to hear, but the card is saying it hasn't changed yet because the timing isn't right. And once the time comes, things will shift naturally. It's hard to believe that this could be a good time, right? From where you stand, it probably feels unacceptable. But the truth is, moments when things feel like they're going nowhere, those are exactly the moments that are meant to be that way. You may find it hard to believe, but it's true. Because after this, everything begins to shift in a positive direction. What's happening now is what we might call divine timing being realigned. A recalibration of the moment is taking place right now. Situations like 2 people not meeting, being out of sync, feeling misaligned or incompatible, all of these things are actually happening for a necessary reason. The card is saying, this is a recalibration of timing. Because if things were to unfold right now, the outcome might not be what you're hoping for. But if you're willing to be just a little more patient until the time associated with the number 4 arrives, then not only will things flow more smoothly, but the outcome will be far more beautiful than you imagined. I know that might be hard to believe, but the cards are all trying to convey this message, that the current delays are here to lead you to a better result in the future. So, let me ask for a small piece of advice for you. Something gentle, a subtle suggestion. Earlier, the cards already mentioned that soaking in warm water would be highly beneficial for you. But is there anything else? Let me take a look. Something interesting just happened. I felt as though I was being called to a specific deck. Not something I consciously chose, but rather, the cards themselves called to me. It's the Goddess Guidance deck. And just as I had a strong intuition it would happen, the card that appeared is one that carries the meaning of peace. I genuinely had a deep feeling that this exact card would come, and it did. It's strange in a magical kind of way. Moments like this really do happen, you know? When the connection becomes so clear it's almost surreal. The card that was just drawn is You Are a Channel for Healing Power. I was taken aback for a moment, because this card truly carries the energy of peace, or more accurately, a deeply peaceful healing power. The feeling it brings is incredibly intense, so much so that I couldn't help but say, this is overwhelmingly beautiful, in the best possible way. Clearly, the cards are trying to deliver a very specific and powerful message to you. In truth, the card's title isn't exactly peace, but its energy speaks of nothing else. This is the card of the goddess Ixchel, a sacred feminine healer known as the medicine woman. Her message is, take action with the healing power that has been divinely given to you. When I read that, all I could say was, how incredible. Truly, isn't that just extraordinary? Let me read more closely the full message this card is offering you. True power doesn't come from control. Control is merely a defensive act, born from small fears. It's no different than a child throwing a tantrum. Real power comes from inner certainty, the knowing that you are part of something vast and divine, a piece of sacred wisdom itself. Your role is to lead others with a power that resembles deep inner peace, a strength that nothing can shake. Connect with that source of power through clear, focused thinking, unaffected by the noise around you. In truth, that power has always lived within you, and you've already made a firm decision to embody and use it. So don't let that confidence be shaken. Connect with the higher energy source and expand the natural power that already exists within you. In doing so, you create a bridge between the infinite and yourself, a connection from one boundless realm to another. In other words, those you are healing, and all living beings around you are part of the eternal spirit. And this is the guidance being offered to you right now. Though it may seem like a simple piece of advice, in truth, it holds much greater depth. You are a healer. You are being healed. And this situation, as well as the people you love, is also in the process of healing. It seems this message is centered on healing, and the central figure here is Ixchel. Ixchel is the moon goddess in ancient Mayan culture, worshipped since time immemorial. Together with her consort, the sun god, she is believed to have given birth to the other deities in Mayan mythology. As the embodiment of the moon, Ixchel is deeply connected to the salt road, a sacred concept intertwined with rituals and the flow of natural energy. She was believed to have the power to govern rainfall, meaning she ruled over all aspects related to water. This immediately brings to mind the image of the bath. The water here carries deeply symbolic meaning. In fact, Ixchel is also known as Lady Rainbow. It is said that in the tiny droplets of water that form a rainbow, her essence is carried, spreading through the luminous colors of light and water. As a mother goddess, Ixchel brings abundance and supports the process of birth, but beyond that, she is an extraordinarily powerful healer. She holds deep knowledge of humanity's origins on this planet. What's especially profound is that Ixchel has the ability to reconnect you with your core essence as a spiritual healer, so that you may return to yourself and become the most authentic, healed version of who you truly are. Right now, it feels as though you've been called by her. As if she's gently whispering that you are the one who can bring healing to this current situation, and at the same time, heal yourself. Ixchel will assist you on that journey. Because she is associated with the element of water, the message here is this: if possible, immerse yourself in a warm bath. That will be a sacred way for you to deepen your connection with her energy. And another image is coming through. It may be symbolic of lightning rods installed on rooftops. When lightning strikes, they absorb the full charge and vibration from the sky to protect everything below. That feeling mirrors your own experience. Perhaps you, or someone like you, have been acting as a conductor, absorbing powerful shocks and emotional surges from the environment around you. Like a channel that receives and transforms chaotic energy. It's truly a powerful symbol. And the guidance remains: take a bath. It feels as though water, whether you drink plenty of it or soak your body, will help cleanse and purify your energy. That sense is very clear. One more thing, you truly possess an incredibly powerful energy within you. It may sound a bit mystical, but it's real. You carry a force that is immense and sacred. Even lightning, which we usually associate with destruction, you have the power to transform into a form of healing, to convert it into strength. No matter how chaotic, exhausting, or shocking your current experiences may be, they can all become the raw material, the nourishment for your growth and resilience. Perhaps the tangled situations you're facing right now are precisely what you can turn into healing energy. You carry within you such great power that you can transmute chaos into light. It's true, as if you have the ability to turn storms into rainbows. And, oh, the image of a rainbow really does appear here, an unmistakable sign. Despite thunder and lightning, rainstorms or tempests, you are the one who can bring forth the rainbow after the rain. Not everyone has that ability. You can call forth the rainbow, both literally and metaphorically. So, direct your consciousness toward the future you desire, because that is what will help you change your reality. You hold immense power, the power to shape your present and your future according to your will. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't diminish that power. Don't naively believe that you can't, because you are capable of far more than you realize. You truly possess extraordinary energy, so much so that you can transform even lightning into the light of a rainbow. You carry the power to transmute, to heal, and the strength to change your circumstances. You may even have the ability to shift the energy of the space around you. You accomplish things that few others can. This story seems to be unfolding more and more, and indeed it is. You may possess a special ability, the power to change the atmosphere around you. For example, when the air feels heavy or tense, simply your presence can soften the environment, making it lighter and easier to breathe. It might be as simple as the energy you carry naturally calming the space, and that's not something everyone can do. It seems this is precisely the message being conveyed to you, specifically through the goddess Ixchel, that you are a person of power. It's not about needing to remember this. Rather, you are being called to recognize that this power already resides within you. You are someone full of inner strength. Ixchel seems to say, it's not because everything is okay that you will be okay. Instead, it is you who makes things better. You have the ability to change reality. You have the power to transform the situation unfolding before you, no matter how difficult or unfavorable it may seem, into something more positive. You have the capacity to make things better. So now, let's turn our attention toward clarity. I will walk with you to see what is about to become clear. The card drawn is clear. In English, the word clear can mean transparent, pure, or it can signify that everything will be illuminated and understood. What's fascinating is that the figure on this card is smiling gently, not a loud, radiant smile, but the smile of someone who already knew something deep down and now smiles as that truth unfolds. They look back as if to say, see, I told you the storm would turn into a rainbow. What's truly remarkable is that in the corner of their eye, the colors of a rainbow shimmer. Like a wonderfully unexpected, fulfilling conclusion. The ending you once doubted, once thought impossible, but that ultimately manifests exactly as you deeply hoped. It feels like a stunning, dramatic turnaround. And it's no coincidence, another card also features a rainbow. This message is being emphasized repeatedly, that thunder, lightning, storms, and all that chaos, once past, become the very foundation upon which you can create a brilliant rainbow. And you are the one who can make that happen. Not because you force events to unfold, but because the healing and transformative energy within you is awakening. You are not just a survivor of the storm. You are the one who makes the rainbow appear. The image on the card shows people gathering around you. Truly, there are many individuals surrounding you. And hey, there's someone who looks like they're hiding behind a snow globe, seemingly throwing it your way. Are you okay? It feels like someone wants to join your circle, to catch your attention. They have no intention of attacking or harming you. It seems they're just quietly signaling, hoping you'll notice their presence. Around you are people clapping, raising their hands as if trying to communicate and connect with you. You might be attracting the attention of many, whether or not you realize it. And the phrase your channel appears here. Perhaps you're running a YouTube channel? Or some kind of platform, YouTube, Instagram, a blog, or any other sharing platform. What the card is telling you is that something will completely flip in your current reality. A truth will be revealed. A situation will transform so drastically that you'll be left speechless with surprise, as if you can't believe this is actually happening. It's a spectacular turnaround. And especially, what you have yet to realize, what you haven't seen or known until now, is about to be revealed with astonishing clarity. It may shock or surprise you, but in a positive way. Truly, it's that feeling of, wait, this is real? I had no idea until this moment. For some of you, especially those actively running a YouTube channel, you might witness an explosion in followers, engagement, or views. And it's not limited to YouTube. Any platform where you share your voice, Instagram, blogs, TikTok, could suddenly experience a breakthrough as well. Returning to the image of the person hiding behind the snow globe, they toss it forward as if to say, I'm here. It seems they don't intend to hurt you, but quietly express their care. Perhaps it's someone who has been silently watching over you, someone fond of you but unsure how to show it directly. Their action is like a silent signal. I'm here, do you see me? After throwing it, this person crouches down, as if afraid you might notice, yet still hoping for your attention. Maybe this is someone who harbors feelings for you, or at least holds a deep fondness. Someone you've never suspected, but who is very close, very quiet, and very much hoping you will recognize them. The image that comes vividly to my mind is this. As you look straight ahead, someone sneakily throws a snowball at you, and then immediately ducks away as you turn around. It's like a game of hide and seek. But behind this playful act lies a genuine emotion, that someone actually harbors feelings for you. And in the near future, those feelings are likely to be revealed clearly. What you didn't know before, the affection of someone, will become unmistakably clear. Perhaps that person will confess something that makes you exclaim, "Really? I had no idea." For example, "Actually, I've been a fan of yours for a long time." If you're someone who creates and shares content, whether on YouTube, writing, art, or any other creative form, there may be someone who unexpectedly steps forward to express that they've been following you for a long time. Even if you're not involved in creative fields or don't maintain a public presence on social media, it's still possible that someone in your everyday environment, whether at work, among friends, or acquaintances, will confess admiration, affection, or even romantic feelings toward you. And that feeling doesn't necessarily have to be romantic love. It could be affection, deep respect, or admiration for your talents and character. However, in some cases, it truly might be romantic, someone who likes you in the fullest sense of love. They've noticed you for a long time, but have never dared to express their feelings. Whether in work, friendship, or romance, an event will occur that truly surprises you. People who seem to stand on the sidelines will suddenly step forward. Silent hearts will find their voice. You may be astonished by the presence and feelings you had no idea existed before. So now, let's try to look into the emotions of that person, the one who harbors feelings for you, but keeps them quietly hidden. Let the tarot cards speak. From the moment I touch the deck, the first impression is clear. This person has not yet confessed their feelings to you. They remain concealed, quietly observing you from afar. Perhaps they're uncertain, unsure whether to open their heart. They're caught in an inner struggle. On one side, the desire to express themselves, on the other, the fear that holds them back from stepping forward. Why are they hesitating like this? It could be due to circumstances, distance, or simply uncertainty about whether you're ready to receive their feelings. But whatever the reason, one thing is certain. This person is struggling within themselves, wondering whether they should step forward and speak their truth. Then the answer comes very clearly. Yes, they will speak up. The time will come when they can no longer keep it hidden. Their feelings are too clear, too intense to remain buried forever. They will find a way to approach you and say, "I like you," or "I truly care about you." And that moment may mark a beautiful turning point in your journey. This person will definitely say it. In the end, they will express their feelings to you. But you might be thinking, well, that's obvious. The reading's title is what will be revealed, after all. And you're not wrong. But the thing is, right now, in the present moment, they're still filled with doubt. They're torn inside, wrestling with whether or not to speak up. Their feelings are clear, but their actions remain hesitant. So, why are they still hesitating if the final outcome is that they will speak? It feels like, since they're going to say it anyway, what's the delay? Yet clearly something is holding them back. Let's draw one more card to see what is preventing them. The answer has appeared. It seems they want to speak immediately. They truly want to share their feelings with you. But something is stopping them from acting right now. I don't want to label it as a negative obstacle or barrier, but there is indeed an unforeseen factor interfering, causing them to be stuck. It's possible that just as they are about to speak, something unexpected interrupts the flow of their emotions. It's not something overly negative or serious, but rather an untimely situation that arises right when they intend to open up. Another card clarifies this further. It seems this person has gone through a challenging phase. It might be poor health, emotional imbalance, or a personal issue that has drained their energy. This could be the reason they've had to pause and postpone expressing their feelings, even though they deeply want to. And importantly, this issue isn't related to you. It's not because there's conflict or misunderstanding between you two. This stems from their own personal circumstances, whether health, private matters, or life events, that make them feel unready. In other words, their heart is ready, but the reality of their situation is not. They don't want their emotions to overwhelm everything and cause them to express themselves incompletely. They want, when the time comes, to speak honestly, fully, and clearly, not in a half-hearted way. So if you are waiting, understand that this delay isn't due to a lack of feeling, but because the circumstances simply haven't allowed it yet. And when the right moment arrives, they will step out of silence, and share with you everything they've held inside for so long. It's possible that they already intended to express their feelings. But for example, maybe they caught a mild flu, or suddenly work became overwhelming, leaving them exhausted. Perhaps they are going through a family hardship, such as mourning or dealing with personal matters. These kinds of unexpected events are completely normal in life, right? And because of such unforeseen situations, they have had to postpone revealing their heart. And indeed, just as the cards have said, their feelings will be expressed eventually. They will convey those emotions to you. But the next question is, when? When will that happen? It's important to clarify that the feelings this person holds for you aren't necessarily romantic love. They might be a fan of yours, someone who admires your work or personality. It could also be someone who wants to collaborate with you or move closer in some kind of relationship. And when this person appears, you will have that moment of realization. So this is the one who has quietly cared for me all along. So, when will this become clear? The number 88 appears. This could indicate a specific time frame, such as 8 hours after you watch this video, or 8 days later, or on a date featuring the number 8, like the 8th, 18th, or 28th of the month. It seems this timing isn't far off, and intriguingly, this person appears to have hidden their feelings very carefully. Naturally, the question arises, why keep it so well hidden? You might feel like saying, just say it already, why keep it a secret? But perhaps they have their own reasons related to timing. Maybe the circumstances aren't right yet, or they lack confidence, or simply they are waiting for the moment they feel is truly right to open their heart. And if you wonder why they hesitate and struggle so much, it seems the reason isn't about you but comes from within them. Still, there's a sense that this might not be the whole story. Your intuition may be picking up on a deeper layer of meaning. So let's draw one more card, this time from a different tarot deck, to shine a light more deeply on their true emotions and the hidden reasons behind their inner conflict. The story isn't over yet because sometimes what people hide the most is what they most hope to be understood. In fact, it's entirely possible that something unexpected happened to them, such as falling ill or encountering an unforeseen problem. They genuinely wanted to express their feelings at that moment, but circumstances simply didn't allow it. Maybe a sudden personal issue forced them to postpone their confession. I sense there are two different situations here. One is that there are external, objective reasons causing obstacles, such as health issues, work pressures, or family matters. The other is that the person themselves is caught in intense inner conflict. They're hesitant and struggling deeply with a lack of confidence. They might be thinking, am I really right for them? Am I worthy? Thoughts like, I'm just not good enough, keep repeating inside them. It feels like they're dissatisfied with the image they've built of themselves. They lack confidence in that perception. If this is about romantic feelings, they may deeply want to tell you, I like you, but then question themselves. Will I be rejected? Will I bother them? If they're a fan of yours, they might wonder, do I even need to say anything? Will I come across as a nuisance if I do? And if it's about a work collaboration, they could be thinking, I wonder if they'll accept? Is my company reputable enough to invite them? What if they look down on me? In short, this person cares a lot. And because they care so much, they become anxious, afraid of rejection, afraid of being a bother, afraid of not being accepted. They want to do everything perfectly, prepare thoroughly, and the more they prepare, the more fearful they become. The reverse 9 of Wands clearly reflects this. This person is extremely cautious, carefully watching the timing, scrutinizing every little detail to determine the best moment to speak. It feels as if they're standing at a door, hand raised to knock, but hesitating. They keep asking themselves, should I knock? Or maybe it's better not to. They're wrestling with the question, should I speak out or keep this inside? Much of their hesitation stems from the fear of being hurt, fear of rejection, fear of being misunderstood, fear that their feelings won't be reciprocated. But if what they have to offer is good and sincere, then speaking up will surely create a connection, in whatever form it takes. This person is not superficial. They are serious, thoughtful, and they value both their own feelings and yours. But this sincerity makes them vulnerable, so they need a bit more time to muster the courage to open their heart. All of this leads to the conclusion that the World card has appeared, and that means, ultimately, this person will speak up. They will express their feelings to you fully and clearly. The timing is linked to the number 8. That is, it could be on the 8th, 18th, or 28th day of the month, or 8 hours or 8 days after you receive this message. So, if there is a sign, a signal to help you know that the moment is near, what would it be? The card's answer is the infinity symbol. the lemniscate, a horizontal figure eight, which represents eternity, cycles, and the perfect balance of giving and receiving. And especially, if you watched the beginning of this video, you might have already seen the symbol appear. For those who didn't watch the start, no worries, because the message is, whenever you see this symbol, whether in real life or in your mind, take it as a sign that the time is almost here. And then, I want to know, when this person finally expresses their feelings, how will you feel? What emotions will arise within you at that moment? Here is what the cards reveal. You will be very happy. Truly, deeply happy. The card that appears seems to shout out, "Oh my gosh, this is so joyful," like a spontaneous, adorable, and sincere reaction from you. The kind of response that goes, "Wait, so, it's really them? Is it really them? I'm so happy I could faint." That feeling isn't just surprise, it's a profound, warm joy, as if your heart is being gently comforted and healed. Because this person isn't a stranger, nor someone who makes you feel awkward or confused. They are someone who makes you think, if this is the person who cares for me, that's wonderful. If it's a declaration of love, you will feel happiness. If it's a confession from a fan, you will feel gratitude and appreciation. If it's an offer for collaboration, you will feel honored and trusting. The card Healing the Heart appears to affirm this even more. This will touch your heart, soothe your worries, and give you the sense that you are truly seen and understood. In fact, the energy of the reading conveys a feeling as though you've just received a deeply moving confession. A sensation like, "I've accepted, my heart has just been touched." A moment full of emotion, completeness, and meaning. And honestly, there is no other word for it but wonderful. Because the image of a heart appears, it's very possible that you also have feelings for this person. If that's the case, then this is surely wonderful news in your love life. But it's not limited to romantic love. This could also happen in your professional life. For example, you might have thought, "I wish I could collaborate with that company," and then, unexpectedly, that very company reaches out to you first with a partnership offer. It's the kind of opportunity you didn't dare to expect much from, yet it arrives at just the right moment, moving you deeply. Or, if it's about a fan, you might feel surprised and think, "Wait, this person is actually a fan of mine?" This could even happen within an online community you're part of. And if this is what will soon become clear, then yes, the ultimate revelation here is that both of you share mutual feelings. This story is not just about joy, but also carries a deep sense of gratitude, that all the difficulties before were so you could fully appreciate this happiness when it finally arrives. There's a card that vividly depicts someone holding their emotions close, as if whispering to their own heart, "Thank you for finally reaching this moment." It's a profound and complete healing. That feeling is truly one of fulfillment after many trials, as if you are standing at the peak of the happiness you once dreamed of, once thought was nearly out of reach. But now, it is here, tangible and real, right within your heart. The joy and happiness spread deeply and thoroughly. The feelings this person holds for you, whether in love or work, seem to have been nurtured quietly for a long time, and when they finally express them, the energy is so powerful it shakes you to your core. It is intensity and passion, as if everything they have kept hidden inside is now flowing out without restraint. If you have friends or acquaintances who are Libras or Leos, try to meet, talk, or connect with them in the coming days. They might offer you valuable advice, positive inspiration, or worthwhile opportunities. Even if they are people you know only online, such as content creators or influencers, if you feel a connection with someone who carries the energy of Libra or Leo, they might be your lucky person at this time. Now, let's receive some advice from the cards. The deck used here is the Magenta Love Oracle, a deck filled with gentle and healing energy. Oh, a card just flew out. It's your attraction is blossoming. This is a joyful card worthy of celebration. On the card, there's an image of Venus, the planet of love and beauty. Personally, I adore Venus, and it's wonderful to see this card appear right now. The message from this card says, your attraction is in a radiant phase, more captivating than ever before. Venus is regarded as the guardian deity of the feminine, the planet representing grace, sensuality, softness, and allure. Whoever you are, the energy of Venus is now here to support you in matters of love, social connections, and enhancing your personal magnetism. Perhaps you carry some insecurities about your appearance, a feeling that you're not beautiful enough or not prominent enough. But the card reminds you, no one is perfect, and what you perceive as flaws may actually be the unique points of attraction in the eyes of others. The things you think are flaws might be the very marks that people find irresistible. Be more confident and less harsh on yourself. Whether you are female or male, let the energy of Venus accompany you during this time, helping you open your heart, love yourself more, and attract wonderful things into your life. This is the moment for you to shine most naturally, simply by being yourself. What you have always considered a flaw, perhaps it is actually a unique point of attraction in the eyes of others. This card is telling you exactly that. You truly are a very captivating person, so be confident. Believe in your natural allure. Additionally, a wonderful suggestion from the card is to try this visualization. Think of a part of your upper body that you don't like and the part you like the most. Then imagine both of those areas being enveloped by a soft light blending the colors of both emotions. For example, if you love your eyes but dislike your nose, picture both your eyes and nose bathed in a pink light, a color symbolizing love and acceptance. This act serves as an inner healing practice, helping you reconnect with yourself, so you can embrace both what you love and the parts you once rejected. Regarding your lucky places, once again, these are venues that require tickets. This time, the suggestion is more specific: a hair salon, a place where you need to make an appointment or purchase a service package. This will be a space to renew your energy, refreshing yourself from your outer appearance to your inner emotions. As for your lucky item during this period, it is false eyelashes. Of course, not everyone likes using false lashes, but you can choose to care for your natural lashes by nourishing them, using growth serums, or simply tending gently to your lashes. This small act, though seemingly simple, has a powerful effect in connecting you to the energy of grace, confidence, and self-love. For the men watching this reading, sometimes I get asked if I'm male. Is that okay? The answer is absolutely yes, it's perfectly okay. While the messages may lean toward the feminine, you can easily adjust and embrace the parts that resonate with you. Instead of caring for eyelashes, you can replace that with any personal care ritual that helps you feel better about yourself. The energy of Venus is for everyone, male or female, because it represents beauty, attraction, love, and the art of human connection. So listen carefully and select what suits you best. Now, let's explore the important symbols that will guide you in the near future. First is the infinity symbol. If you don't have the infinity sign, the number 8 will do just fine. Additionally, there's the bathtub symbol. If you're someone who rarely soaks in a tub, this is a suggestion to try it. Take time to relax in the bath. It's a healing invitation. So the symbols suggested for you are the infinity sign or the number 8, the bathtub, and one more, the moon symbol. Specifically, the crescent moon, like the symbol of the new moon. The card hints that you might be holding a wish or an emotion that needs nurturing and care, much like the crescent moon cradling its first light. Thus, the moon symbol will also be one of your lucky and guiding signs. I'll conclude the reading for those who chose Group 3 here. If what I've shared has been helpful or simply interesting to you, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button to support me. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch until the very end of the video. Wishing you a peaceful and lucky day. I look forward to seeing you again in the next readings.